Welcome to Pembroke Hall Memories podcast. I am Lance, or Jelly, or Prince, as most Pembroke Hall people know me. And my co-host is Philip, or Any, or NFL, as most Pembroke Hall people know him. And both of us are from Calbeck Avenue. Our mission on this podcast series is to explore how Pembroke Hall, a small community in the Kingston 20 area, surrounded by Joesland, just across Washington Boulevard, Marvalley, Trucks Garden, or Francis Land as I know it, Arlene Garden, Patchett City, just across the Sandy Gully, became the epicenter of football or soccer for some people in Jamaica in the early 1970s. Pembroke Hall was also home of some of the most legendary musicians and entertainers of that era. I was still going to Pembroke Hall Primary when every single Sunday a triple header was played at the original ball ground at the intersection of Calbeck Avenue, Pembroke Hall Drive, now Kennel Drive. One morning match and two evening match was played to a capacity crowd. These teams, Patosi Rovers, Carawina, Asphalt, Covey, El Furto, and Dreads, was joined by Marvalley Uenden to play in the Pembroke Hall Corner League football tournament. And every baller in Jamaica at the time wanted to play in a Pembroke Hall Corner League to showcase them skills as the first officially organized Corner League football tournament in Jamaica. In this conversation, we hope to capture the memories of players, supporters, and any members of the Pembroke Hall community, male or female, who want to come and share their stories. Your feedback and support will be greatly appreciated on whatever social media platform you might be listening, and thanks in advance. So remember to like, share, and subscribe these Pembroke Hall Members podcasts so neither you nor your friends will miss another memorable conversation. Thank you. Today is Tuesday, September 19th, 2023, and welcome back to another conversation about Pembroke Hall Memories. Me as usual, Lance, or Prince, or Jelly, and any one of those names will do. Join me tonight is my original co-host from our first conversation more than a year ago. And Philip, or any fowl, has been a friend from Calbeck Avenue from what idea when he has with us in 1960. And yes, so I check right, that are more than 50 years, one another, more than half a century. So welcome back, Phil. When him come in, we welcome him and make him join the conversation. Also join us as co-host tonight is Andre Taylor Danville, or John Danville, as most Pembroke Hall people know him. And he was a guest on conversation number 3 and has given us Pembroke Hall members conversation invaluable support. From the time I'm joined the conversation in episode 3, I must go back and listen to Andre Pembroke Hall members in his own words and like, share, and subscribe while listening. Our next co-host is a man who has done a lot of heavy lifting behind the scenes, and he was a guest on conversation number 15, and you should go back and listen to Rudolph Thumper, Tony Kamika Pembroke Hall members in his own words. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe while listening. Our guest today don't really need an introduction, but in true Pembroke Hall members tradition, we have to give him a proper introduction. His older brother was a key man in the founding of the original Corner League in Jamaica. Yes, the Pembroke Hall Corner League was the original Corner League in Jamaica. And his mother was a teacher to a whole heap of Pembroke Hall Primary in the 1970s. He was a member of that great Excelsior team in the 1970s, who always have KC ticket, including that famous turn. When I see them, I see it when the late Paxton Rose turned the most feared defender in Jamaica at the time, Dougie Bell, and scored that memorable goal against KC and send them home. He was also a member of that powerful dynasty known as Clarendon College in the late 1970s, which dominated schoolboy football. I remember this man as the fittest man never seen on a football field, whether I'm a training or an official match, because it's like a well-tuned motor vehicle who never stutter. I look like him can never run out of gas. But without further ado, Pembroke Hall members welcome a member of Pembroke Hall royalty, as me call them, because Carlton Briscoe to the conversation. Introduce yourself, Carlton.
Greetings everyone. It's Carlton Briscoe from 23 Petterton Avenue from Longland.
Yeah, man. Welcome. I'll get tonight, man. And Phil not there, so Andre introduce himself. When Phil come in, me bring him on and make him introduce himself. Go ahead, Andre.
Yeah, greetings, Pembroke Hall family. Andre Taylor Downville. Most people back in the day refer to me as John Danville, in the early days. Tonight's guest is a man I me form a friendship with from age 9 in 1970 when I left St. Aloysius, where Tompa and myself were schoolmates, and joined Pembroke Hall Primary. I ended up in the class of Mrs. Briscoe. And as luck would have it, a student teacher moved me to sit beside Carlton. And so we share a bench, fourth grade, and in Mrs. Scott's 5A class. And later went on to attend Excelsior together, where we play Coles football and minor league in Pembroke Hall. So to me, great honor for welcome my brother from 9 years old. We have not to do the maths now. So how much years?
Yeah,
Over 50 years of friendship.
more than half a
Welcome, my brother.
century. Yeah. And Rudy, Tompa, introduce yourself back, my brother.
Yeah, man. Good evening, and welcome, Carlton. Yes, Rudy Tompa Kamika. Most people know me as Tompa or Tony. If you call me Tompa or Tony, that means you know me from a long while. And as it relates to Carlton, look here, although we are the same age, he's a man what we as youth look up to as a baller and respect. So I'm gonna look forward to this conversation here tonight. And let's get going. Let's get rolling. On the ball from Bacall.
As Bobby Fire, I say, yeah. Yeah, so Carlton, were you born in Pembroke Hall? What year did you come up Pembroke Hall? You were born in Pembroke Hall. Tell me how that go.
I never really born in a Pembroke Hall. Actually was born in Buff Bay.
At in Portland Portland.
Portland.
Yeah.
Portland, yeah. But my story to Pembroke Hall is a slightly little different from, when most people would know, and even Andre, where you know exactly how much you know about the background, really. But I came to Pembroke Hall probably around age 3, 4, because I will get back in a little bit of, personal and private kind of stuff still, but the father, when you know Andre as Mr. Briscoe, right? He was not my original, is not my actual biological father. So little known information there. Right? So back in the day, right, when Jamaican man used to be around, them always used to kind of go away and say them about make life better for the family and send back money and do all these things and right? And apparently Mr. B and Miss B had a conversation. He must go to England. Somehow never reached back after years. So she ended up leave down at the house with too much picnic and whatever. Some relationship with my father. And that is how me kind of come up. Right? Truth of the story is, because Miss B was a teacher at the time, right? It wouldn't look too kosher for she have a youth where obviously if anybody look for me no say I never miss a big youth. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So she sent me to live with my aunt in Port Antonio. Right? So my first 3 to 4 years I spent in Port Antonio growing up and really falling in love with Port Antonio. So I came to Pembroke Hall probably because if you remember Raleigh's conversation, they came there sometime in 61, which is I think they came there shortly after I was born. And she sent me to live with my aunt, her sister, my Aunt B, in Port Antonio, because it never would have come across too well as a teacher. Them stigma and them thing them back in the day.
Yes, sir.
So I came to Pembroke Hall when it get to a point where it's time for me to start the school. Understand? So I think I came from Bacall probably around, I'd say 64, and about 3, 4, get ready to go, you know, uh, school. So the first school when I come from Bacall, when I was really for go, and if you know which part, Balmaji Prep used to be, I never for that school.
Be a farm
It
road.
was over upon that side. I just remember basic vehicle say, you know, kind of walk up the boulevard, go across, and we'd have to go down in a gully, go across the gully and come up on the other side to get to the school. That is when me basically remember about that school.
And that was the nearest school, or that at the school in Upago?
Well, that was the school Miss B was teaching at the time.
Oh, Chatita. Okay, I got you. So you and her go school together. I got you.
Yeah, so from me come that, but you know, I'd go 3, 4 years that. I mean, the first 3 or 4 years, I don't really know. You know, when you're there country, I run up and down, I don't really think no only for schooling I go on them time they still. So
Yeah. At school age, that when you come around them time they will start out for real.
Yeah. So we used to go Balmaji with her and start with it. So that's all me.
Okay. So what year you start Pembroke Primary? When it opened then?
67.
Well, shortly after that, when I was staying on Balmaji, she actually took me to Dunrabin Prep. The only reason I ended up going there is because my sister Elizabeth used to go to Marlborough. And Marlborough was kind of right next there. So, you know, when we end up there, so when school finished, you know, should I come home and should I be able to pick me up and, you know, make sure I reach home.
Yes.
But, you know, enough time, she and her friend them gone and I'll forget me. Couple times. And she and her party them start move and gone. She's like, oh crap, get all the time.
Wow.
So, you know, enough time and then I wait for her, but yeah, it wasn't nothing. There's a little youth out in the yard that play and run up and down until somebody finally come get you. So
somebody come get you. Real.
But when she do remember whether those pretty much most of the time it doesn't walk come down the boulevard, never really jump on a minibus and everything there. And even if she didn't get money to take minibus, she probably has spent it for something else.
Yeah. So it was the one sister you had, Carlton?
Nah, man. But that was Lizzie is my third sister.
Yeah.
And she's the young sister. And she went to Merle Grove. My other sister, Juanita, went to St. Andrew High. And actually, you can't really say it that way. You have to say St. Andrew High School for girls.
For girls, exactly.
You have to say it right, or them look for your phone.
You know, you're the man say it. You have to say St. Andrew.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Uptown Lake, yes.
Uptown, man.
St. Andrew High School for girls.
Yeah, man.
For girls, yeah.
And then my other big sister, she used to go Excelsior.
Okay.
So, and then later on, Raleigh did go through Excelsior, and then we kind of come behind. Harold, my big brother, did go Excelsior, and we kind of come through behind. So
I never realized that it's such a Excelsior royalty with the Briscoes, you know.
That
Harold, Raleigh, and your sister. It says 4 of you went to Excelsior.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. So Excelsior is an integral part in the whole of our upbringing.
Yeah. So when you move come up from Carlton, what's some of the man you remember in the early days where in on the road with your Petterton or anywhere around a car we know where there?
When you come in at 4 or 5, to be honest with you, and I really remember Wally, you know.
No, that is true.
You just come in and you just move around and as a youth, that's what come from the country and I really know no for people, I never used to just jump out. So, but eventually you'd have some live behind me name Nikita. My youth live behind me. You'd have a little youth down the road from me name. Cross the road, we'd have where the man, Mr. Whittingham. And Mr. Whittingham had like Carl and then a couple of the younger ones, but Carl, Jennifer, Ivan, four of them. And, up the road was Prince and Leslie them, but I wouldn't say when I come up here, I fully remember the vibes there and remember going amongst them at them time. I mean, it's probably later on down when you start get a little older and you start up and see them up play scrimmage and thing, you kind of start get out and
Mm-hmm.
amongst them, man.
Mm-hmm. So as you talk about the scrimmage, so you come up from Bacall and know for play football?
No. I remember I come from Pembroke Hall, and if you remember the original structure, the Pembroke Hall house then was like, well, as me or not talk, there was 2 bedroom and 3 bedroom, but down our area was 2 bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You usually have 2 bedroom, you have a area, you have a little kitchen and a bathroom. So beside the house was usually a nice area, like a lawn area. House then did have lawn next to them or in front of them.
Yes.
Back then, right? There is no, I don't think there is any original structure in a Pembroke Hall right now. But everybody use up the land now.
Built on it, yeah. Yeah.
So I remember when I come Pembroke Hall and I see a ball at the car rally, the ground, the dead. And you remember them ball with the shoe boy off the
Yes, I. And a lace.
and the leaf on the front and when it a roll come to you and catch on the lace, it does bum up.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Remember them ball?
Yeah, man. Now I say, yeah.
So one in the house and I vaguely remember I kick it round out in the lawn and I was start kick it with my toe punch and I vividly remember when Raleigh see me, I kick the ball and him call me and him come up and him say, no, I'm supposed to use a toe for kick the ball. And remember the first time him literally hold my foot, I curl my foot out and I show me say when you pass if you use the side of your foot. And him point me toe and turn it down and show me how to like strike it with me instead, and I vividly remember again, me I try it, and after 2 tries, I said, this not feel good. You have to do it with my toe.
Mm-hmm.
The ball of your toe, so just kick it go hard. And I said, no, and so you have to do it the right way, So that's the first memory me have somebody that show me anything to do with football.
Mm-hmm.
Was that father showed me how to use the side of my foot make a pass and then really proper way to strike a ball with it.
I mean, I think they're born with a football in your hand.
No, brethren, far from it, I tell you, but
You have to work on it, yeah.
no, but the thing is, I don't know where the internal love for ball come from because it's like from me see a ball I like me just love it. You understand me I say?
Mm-hmm.
And as you grow up and you get a little more and you start, you see man play ball and stuff. As a little youth, you that go and you probably watch, see, and you kind of get the little vibes for ball and thing, But that's really my first basic thing. And ball was like my company,
Mm-hmm.
Me and the ball in the front yard, I kick around and I dribble around and then him start teach me, set up a couple stone and I say you have to practice to dribble through the stone them and so start spend a whole heap of time and do them little thing, then you get into teaching me how to juggle and you need to learn to juggle and till You to a point where down the line juggling is like we just a walk up the road, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I must tell you, Carlton, many people can recall watching you ahead go the big field and a juggle the ball to the field without dropping it. And you have many people who talk to on the podcast who mention that why Carlton and the juggling as him going to the field. So this practice is something that start early for you.
And then when we start, right,
No, man, you go ahead, man. You go ahead, Carlton.
when we start moving less of them and start training less of them and juggle the ball and come up the road. You know, juggling was almost like just a pastime, you know, because a whole heap of time out in front of the yard and me and juggle and lady call me and as soon as we're done with me and do me going back out. So I mean, and as always my outside it was just like my pastime. If me not do nothing, me a juggle a ball, I do something with a ball. Back then time, you know.
I'm ask this, Carlton, because I don't know. That's why I ask. Because you were so good with both feet. Are you naturally left-footed or right-footed?
Actually right-footed, you know. But again, the Godfather and the teaching of Pele. You remember way back in them times when we used to have a little Pepsi film them come out with
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Pele.
You got.
And skill and then everybody run go out and I practice that one skill there. And you know, Rally from early used to teach me say, well, if you can do something right foot, you're supposed to can do it together. And the Pearl come again with the same philosophy.
Yeah, I remember them
Anything
Pepsi
you
film
can
there,
do, anything you can do with your right, you should be able to do with your left. With him, the Portuguese English accent.
Yeah.
You know? And you know, me remember I watch off the head, you know, off the pass, off the strike, and every youth would watch the one little skill and everybody go to them yard and I practice that, you know. But the left foot really get good to a point, and it's because of rally. Because when we dump on the road now, like we are juggling our group, there's a time in rally when I say you don't use the right foot, you can only use the right. I know what I mean. Everybody and me have to use So if the ball on my right, never use no foot go over there and dry it over, and then it just become a natural thing, you know.
So what's some of the youth them your age group, Carlton? What's some of the man you remember I play with? Because I know it's a pregnant older than you. And but what's some of the man your contemporary them? Whether I go primary school or upon the road on a car win I used to play with. Or you remember?
Right, to be honest with you, most of my memory came about with yesterday, for example, because all of my baller friend them, and even right now, all of the money when we consider real friend and bridging, the whole of them is about 3 to 5 years older than me. And that is due to the fact say, you know, me I play ball with them from long time. You know what I mean? So me when me a little boy, me end up a play with big man from early. You know, and as a matter of fact, no one push the story too far down the road, but I mean, you remember the first time me actually played for Carolina. I mean, well, you know, Carolina where the basis and training can start the morning 6 o'clock. We get up, Pregs come call me and wake me and go for the field and we train, and you know, that the basis of the basis of the ball, that you know,
Yes.
and you just fundamentals over and over.
How old you were? How old you were at the time, Carlton? The first time I remember I played for Carolina.
I tell you, we go down in some city to play a practice game, some dread on them. if I black lion or whatever, I mean, if I that then when up I go them was born, probably I go 11.
So you start Excelsior
And
already.
I don't think I did start Excelsior. I can't really start Excelsior until probably about 12.
So you still have a
Yeah, you come there just before you turn 12. Then I only said that because as my classmate, I'm going to go a year, right? Carlton was one of them, man, that were, as a teacher's son, he was young in the class, right? So when I took common entrance in 72, because in November, he wasn't eligible to take it at the time. And so he came to Excelsior the year after in 73, so he was about to turn 12. I just turned 12 when you come. So that's the only reason I remember that, Carly.
I remember you really know them thing I forgot to do. But yeah, I was about 10 and go 11. And
so hold on. You played big man. You never think it no way if you say you're gonna play the big man from me later.
no, because Raleigh used to tell me, say, listen, man, as a youth player, your age shouldn't bar you from play the highest level of ball you can play. A man should not look on you and say, boy, you should not play because you're too young. You're supposed to play because you can't play. But I go down at the game and Carolina did shot, then shot one man. And I say, instead of play shot, just come, come play. And we come on the field and drop some blow up ball as a coyote. Some look out, one touch and move, and and even the man they may play against us say, boy, look how you turn full of life and rate it. It's from them I start kind of, I get a game and I play with them and thing. But and so from little youth, I don't know where my fitness come from. Right? I just never know what I want, to be honest with you. Right?
Non-stop motor.
You grew up with a man like Raleigh, and Raleigh will say, well, you have to fit to play the ball now, because the reality is that when you fit the game easy, you understand, you don't have no limitations from what you have to do when you're fit. So he never have to wake me up and tell me to go run or tell me to do push-ups and sit-ups and then things to get fit. I just do them things because he tell me, say, if I go make me a better ball, I just do it. So yeah, man, from little youth, me I play with them. All of my youth friends, we never used to have a friend with my age, per se.
So it's like you played big man well above your age from long time then, from your primary school then. Yeah.
I'll tell you something. I don't remember exactly which year it was, 73 or 74, but I think Bobby Fire there coached the minor league side. And I think I was 12, I go about 12, I go 13, I go out and try out for the minor league side. And most of the man, they must say, me should have been on the side. Bobby Fire never picked me and tell me, say, the reason I picked me on the squad was because me too young. They didn't there. Yeah, that's done. And time to be young, but the reality of the situation is, again, the fitness level and the movement and stuff, I don't know when I get it from. But maybe, for example, man, a bit more biased, but most of the man with the pan I said them can't understand why include me in that squad. At least include squad.
But
You know what I mean?
But don't cut you. You're not the first baller where a team look and I say him too young for play. I remember Mardon never played in the 78 World Cup and he was 17 at the time. And them saying me too young for play.
Well, I think him first World Cup, him did get I'm not running at the 70.
You think so? I don't remember.
That one.
Him did?
I think
We can't take it. We can't. Me remember I'm in the 82 World Cup, I get sent off against Brazil.
Right, but I think it depends on the squad and I said
Maybe. I never get no game, yeah, as a 17-year-old. Maybe you're right. I don't quite remember a long time, but yeah. But you're right. It's like, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's not unusual for you to hear that, but me never like it. It's vexed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what was a funny thing as well? Usually when you go high school and you're a first farmer, you kind of you have to you're subject to certain things that man are gonna bomb you and all them kind of thing there, right? You know, you're a grub, so you have to. But when Carlton come Excelsior, I couldn't wait for him to reach if he start show after my second farm, brethren, and say, yo, when you talk about football, watch the man here. You know what I mean? Because I'm my brethren this, and this man was used to breaking glass ceilings because in a second farm in 1974, he was a member of the Manning Cup squad.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Carl can elaborate on that.
Yep, but before I go up on that, I want to ask you a question about the primary thing before I go to Excelsior, because Excelsior is a long issue. I want to hear about that too. So at the time, remember, he was a little younger than you, as Andre was 2 years older than me. My brother and Andre in the same year, Patrick. And I don't remember.
Patrick was in a Carlton class.
Yeah, Patrick in a Carlton class. So that I remember. But when I was 2 years older than me. But I don't remember we have no primary school football championship. I remember none of that never used to go on. You don't remember playing a competitive game for Pembroke Hall primary?
No, man. Them used to just open the classroom door on a Friday and roll out a ball and lock it back and just watch it. And the whole school was for field. And we just kick from front to back to side.
Remember, why I tell you why I ask Andrew. Remember when me in a fifth grade now, that time when I got in high school, we did take it upon ourselves and organize a match against Duane Park.
Okay.
I want to tell you, say, he actually playing in a game like that too. I remember, I think I vaguely remember, I'm not really cut it, Brendan, but I remember a teacher did there at the squad. A teacher, the name is Mr. Jackson. A male teacher.
Yes.
Me remember him organize couple games against Duane Park and we go down at the field.
Don't have to make our go play the match, yeah.
Yes. We play them game there and that is the first time we meet Glenn Ryan.
Yeah, man. I just got to tell you about because I'm playing another match when we play too. At a birthday, yeah, Glenn Ryan and mad, yes. But go ahead, Carlton, yeah.
And there's some me know Bertie Dan we call him, but there's some know him from. I play against him primary games.
Duane Park primary, yeah. Can't believe about Duane Park and play for Duane Park. I remember, I play against him too. When I'm in 5th grade too, yeah. Yeah, man, I remember that. But there was no primary school. Was there a prep school championship at the time, Andre or Tompa? I don't remember that. A prep school have organized competition from our time.
No, not that I recall because Aloysius would have enough ball at Aloysius too. You know, because even
I think that the schools that were having it was like Peter and Paul and them.
And Vaz.
Uptown school there.
Yeah, Uptown school. Them did have.
So there was no official prep school competition. I know it was well before primary school started competition.
No. There was probably a prep school, not a primary school.
No, man, that's what I said. There was no primary school in me, man. But I almost think that there was a prep school competition. But yeah.
Yeah, man, there was a prep school.
You know, the memory of that, Carlton, the prep school competition? Primary school, yeah.
Primary school, and it was just a pick-up thing where it was not real organized.
No, definitely not. Definitely. All right, so the first organized football is something like you play then. Apart from you play for Carolina over Spanish Town, I play Black Lions. Was when you go Excelsior then. So in the first one, you play Colts Excelsior.
don't think I started cool. I think in a second farm. I don't remember if we did start course in a first one, but second farm, me I play course in the morning. Third farm, me I play course in the morning. Fourth farm, I think we could have did play course and money, but I think we did play course. I think we did just play money
Yeah,
because
remember that. I'm going to play against you in a third farm, but I'm a, me, like you, I'm born after September, so I could have played a course in a fourth farm too, and you never play. You won't play or not.
Yeah, your last year Briscoe play course was third farm, cause I played
Yeah.
in fourth farm. I got Screw Drexler myself were the only fourth farmers on the team. We were in the A stream and we play with Carlton and Bingy and them man there.
Yeah.
yeah, I remember I play against Camper down in a course, and I think my first money cup game I remember
Right.
when I was 13 before I reached 14. I'm play against Camper down. I miss with 2-1. I made the score. Like the limit are not ahead of fish. Man like me. Made up a score a ball cross, and I'm ready to play center half named Teddy Carr or something like so that I play the Camper down them time there. Somehow we just get in from time and school. And that was, I think I would have been 14 that birthday that year.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
but the first real memory, but yeah, man, from second from me, and then there used to have a youth named Robert Young
Yeah.
from Harbour View who actually did play
Yeah.
Money Cup from
And,
second farm.
yes, and he must have played for Santos youth side at the time too.
And we did have what a real good ball, where Miss Cyrus them left. You remember Minot and Oscar Lawrence.
And
Paul
Oscar,
Minot and Oscar Lawrence.
yeah, big ball of them too.
Them two man there, when me come on, I accept that they was even considered bigger baller than me. And the two of them leave. And to this day, me regret what kind of side Money Cup and Colts. And them never did leave. And they migrate to America.
Like enough away, enough come off foreign. Yeah. So, as Andrea said, talk about the Excelsior days a little bit then, because you come to Excelsior now and you play Money Cup. And as me saying in the introduction, I always remember Excelsior have KC ticket. And I remember the famous match where, and that got on in a Money Cup history with Paxton turn, Dougie Bell and score. And when always come like when you just train for beat KC.
Because you remember that we always give them a tough game, but to be honest with you, we remember that as a one-half win because we did not celebrate. But if I remember correctly, that was the same game when what was it, the same game? Was it 77, Andre? Your memory panel for them thing I usually be more clearer than mine.
You know which game I think you are referring to, Carly, was the game where Screw and Bingy score where beat KC 2-1 where Garfield Action Barrett put on a masterpiece between the nets.
Right.
That was
But
that was before Pakistan came. So
that was yeah. That was probably before Pakistan.
Yeah, man. Excelsior always have KC for one match, I win every year that match.
Wasn't every year, but we always give them a tough run.
Yeah.
Those 2 years when we say we did beat KC factually.
Yeah, them used to take with light and just feel say, well, we soft and them come light or them never get up for our game, but we always seem to get them a run on it. But yeah, that game that was good, but then there is a famous game where Dougie Bell mash up my ankle.
Yeah. I remember that. Carlton, me just see them, yeah.
Man, mash up my ankle, brethren, and me I tell you, say, it turned out that, and I should have reached this already, but maybe I guess we can flip flop and go back to some of the Pembroke Hall days, but tell you the honest truth, that tackle, I tell every man, turn out to be the best thing ever happened to me in my life.
Mm.
You know, and a whole heap of man will look at me and say, what do you mean by that? You see through that tackle now,
Yeah.
making up, I go Clarendon College. And here I made up, I go Clarendon College now. First of all, Slipper Maxwell, the coach the team at the time, Jeffrey Maxwell.
Yeah.
Yes, when I went my slippery.
Yeah. For real.
Jeffrey Maxwell, the coach the team at the time. And first of all, when we get the tackle, well, I'm back up. How the tackle end up, to be honest with you? Me I create a whole heap of pressure upon the defense because you have Dougie Bell and a couple of man with them tall and me just a little 5'4" little man around and them defense. And it's like the man them decides them are gonna do something to touch me. And I tell you, it's just youthful inexperience to a great extent because when them time them I play more forward, you know, more forward and even attacking midfield. And me leave and make a diagonal run, go down the line. I want to flip over my shoulder the first part and I clip in and I see Dougie Bell inside. And the ball play down the line around the wing back and me I go cross diagonally. I kind of just track to the ball because I figure I said never get to the ball before him reach. So I never really to flip back and pay attention to how fast he close from the middle.
Mm.
I mean, tell you by the time I go some bomb and put my left ankle on the bar to touch it for turn. I just feel the man come through and watch when the man tackle me, you know, I mean, until you say it's like, I never get my tackle like that in my life because I never really see my. And when I get the tackle, it's like Jeffrey never feel like saying when they get hurt as badly as me say I was. Right? And Andre, you know me as a baller.
Yeah.
Me as a no football field.
No, sir. What?
Exactly.
You nah
So
leave
when
them.
I come off, no, man, when I come off, I come off and film and tell him, say, yo, I can't even walk properly. So anyway, in vex and he must go put the sub on and whatever, I have to come off and watch the rest of the game. And I think at that same game there, I think Paxton did score that goal and we end up on Wednesday.
Yeah, man. That's that game there. That's that game the Carlton.
Yeah. So when the game done, for my ankle a hop, me have to walk from the stadium, go. I'm trying to go to Stanton Terrace and walk across.
Across the road, yeah.
And me have to go across the road to catch to reach home by myself. You understand what I mean? So me go back at school now and think the coach never even look at me and say, well, boy, I make a carry, go look for your ankle up at you and rate it and check out the ankle and thing. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow.
Most of the things in never read that hurt. Anyway, I go on nurse my thing and down the line, Paxton get injured. And in a 2-2s, him can't go UE and this physiotherapist and all thing there. And me sit up and me say, that's how the thing I go on.
Wow.
And that whole episode and experience there. We used to play Corner League down at Duane Park. Plus, we used to play Corner League, you know. We used to play at Justice Sierra Park too, and we used to play at Pembroke Hall, of course.
Yes.
And we remember playing for Gaio side. Remember Gaio used to play?
Yeah, man. Gatti and Screw and Bingy that play for that side from D Park, right?
Exactly. And we used to go down there.
And what guy your right name? You a guy your right name, Andre?
Frederick McCullough.
Frederick McCullough.
Frederick
right. Yeah, man. All right, cool. Yeah.
And me I play against Sherlock and O'Neill, Russell, and Buttidon, and them man that play for Sherlock. And
Yeah.
it's one of my years, and I say, yo, Briscoe, you know, say the teacher leave, and we need some man to come in. So while them must whisper that in my ears, this other episode I go on at school and feel like, say, boy, watch not really care about me, you know what I mean? So
Wow.
Clive Fagan, who was Winston Chongfa's assistant coach at the time, he was actually teaching a class at Excelsior.
Mm.
I remember
Wow.
Luton Shelton,
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
who used to run 1500 and 800 and everything.
Excelsior, yeah.
Hannah Luton.
No, Luton Shelton, Dana Luton.
I run for
Yeah, man.
Excelsior, 1500 for Excelsior, Andre, yeah.
800.
800, yeah.
850. So he pricked me and I say, he might decide to go climb and, you know, climb here. Climb and actually have a really good distance program, right? Which they did at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then now it so happened that Faggy somehow here say he might go and me have some interest and come find me and talk to me, and he must say, me never did know say him was actually the assistant coach for Klein. And probably the next day after me meet Faggy, me and him jump and come minibus and go down a Klein and speak to Jamaica. And them time me I done fifth farm, you know, me a few subject. I say, well, you know, come at sixth farm. I'm going to sixth farm and brethren going to climb, and was the best decision I ever make in my life. Because that is when I go and buck up and chung it.
Yeah.
And when we go buck up and chung it, me I tell you, say it's like my knowledge of the game just.
And for the record, Carlton, that a Winston Chongfa.
Winston Chongfa.
Yeah.
Great Winston.
The great. Yes. Without a doubt.
One of the great coaches come through Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
My knowledge of the football grew exponentially on Chung. Because when we reach a Clarendon College, you know, technical stuff, technique, fitness, you know, we never need none of that. But you see the tactical side of the game.
Mm-hmm.
When we can back up a little bit, right? The conversation I roll on. Back up a little bit.
Yeah, man. We enjoy.
No, Andre, you must say a 30 minutes I'm going to talk. And
we don't know it already, but
yeah, man. But go, you just go and talk, Carlton, because this is where I listen now. When you have to ask good questions. And your program, you go.
Man is a legend, so I don't know where I'm at.
Yeah. Go ahead, sir. Back up and go.
So when we're gonna climb down, I figured it around the team because, you know, just to clarify, the 77 team with Lenny Hyde and Duche and Gerard and
Best,
Wanda.
for the record, Carlton are the best schoolboy football team me ever say. Not the schoolboy, the best football team me ever say at Jamaica. Bar none.
They are rated in the conversation with the 64 Tony Keys team from
KC team. Me never see that team. Me can't talk about that. Yeah.
Kind of me a little boy, but they've been at the same conversation with that team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, so, but continue, sorry. Mm-hmm.
So 77 coming to 78. Me never did climb down that time. There's 78 me come when Lenny did have to cut out. And a couple of the man they get to old Gerard and Dave Gerard and a couple of the man.
And then and Donovan Ray.
Them man they too old now for play.
Mm-hmm.
So
and Dave Gerard was another Excelsior man who went to Clarendon.
Yeah. So now 77, 78 me go down the Fagan around the side. And The team start out must say lose a game, draw 2 game, and be and must maybe win 1. So the team over there do too good for some reason. And we have play against Dintil down at Watan. And we have play the game, and me hear the man them attack, and I say, yo, me here's a coach are coming up, me here's a coach are coming up, me here's a junior come. And just that are the buzz. So we have played the game, Dintil have 1 love.
So this is a practice game, Carlton, or official the Costa Cup game?
Official the Costa Cup game, official the Costa
So
Cup.
Chung Fan never start the season then? We don't know.
No, I tell you, Clam, Fagan, man.
Okay, yeah.
And we just hear them out after Chongia come. So we have played the game, I must go, I said 10, 15 minutes before the half. Me crowd go, oh. And it's Chongi that walk up on the side of the field and stand up and everybody a mumble, like, you know what I mean? So we don't want love no half time come. Going and changing. First thing Chongi look at me and him say, where they behind you? So I look at him and say, me. Him say, I turn around and look behind me. They say, him say, exactly. Move to the next. What you are doing, da. You understand? And him just basically in the 10 minutes come and stand up on the sideline. Him analyze the whole team. Who are doing what, who not doing what. Him basically say, me now flash my head around to see, to know exactly how much time we have. And that was his instruction to me, right? Where they behind you. I have to look around to see, right? Him say, exactly, next man. And he basically got on the whole team and da. Brother, at 2-1, Dintil pick up on that, no football. And it's like, from there, so, I think we lose a game.
I'm messing up on a dental team there.
I think Messi did on that Dintil team there, 78, and I think in the day 79 to when we have to clear them back.
Yeah.
But show me in terms of the ball knowledge where him bring. When Chongi did come back, he just come from an English courting course. And he did have some tapes, football tapes, where he approached the lecture then, right? And him come on the school and him used to stay down at the school and him dep on campus in our little house down at the front of Klein. When you come in at the gate on the right, there's a little house there where we used to have a little meetings and thing. And we go over there and we see him have a box and tape. I was like, coach with him. So him pick up on them, tape them and plug them in and him did tape the lecture then from the coaching course when him go at England. So me go pick up the tape now and go some boom and listen and what I said to him, coach, when I'm talk about pressure and cover and balance in a defensive posture and him say, boom, and call in all of the player, the man, come in, we have a discussion, da. They got 1 or 2 times. After that, enough of the man them start grumble. Boy, the one Papa be every minute him just have to go down and coach or talk. Till enough of the man them never want to go cause them want to do what them need to do fun week.
And what on the Carlton, for the record, when it's a tape, on a video tape you talk about?
No, cassette.
Cassette tape, okay. Real old school, yeah.
And me used to plug them in at the cassette recorder and listen. Till it end up wearing for a while after the man them start grumble. And me and Chongi alone in there listen to tape them and they might explain to me what is when you defend, what is pressure, what is cover, what is balance, what angle you're supposed to approach and give the man the approach the ball cover. It's supposed to be 45 degrees so that you can go either way. And the man break down the game on a tactical level and an educational, theoretical level. Never even know exists, right? Offensive principle, right? when you have the ball, you need width. You have to have support. You have to have mobility. You have to have this. Man, I tell you, say, me and the man sit down and talk about football to a level wherein it's like, as me tell you, say, my knowledge tactically of the game just grow boom through the roof because that's when my career now really start to come. You know,
Wow.
city, you know, is the thing about looking behind me and knowing how much space behind me. It was like a eureka moment for me.
But if you didn't know that Doggy Bell would get a salad.
Something, something, right? From that, a man will catch me them with it.
Yeah.
I learn. But yeah, you know, Chung really was the man who take my game to the next level. Rally, fundamentals, control, pass. Remember train up at Papa the top field. Him always used to talk about the Jesus pass. What do you mean by that, Jed? When you give a man a ball, you're supposed to give to him like him not have nothing else to do but for control the ball. So when you are give a man the ball, you don't just give him. It has to rub out the ground smooth so that when he touch it now, he not have to think about nothing else but what am I going to do next. You understand? So them technical stuff there, I learn from rally.
Yeah.
But brother, when I touch Clarendon College, yo, the knowledge of the football just got through the roof. God, Chongi did have knowledge up and knowledge up and knowledge. You know. Yeah, when we go through the rest of the season, we are losing the game. We end up at the final. And we end up, we played at the final 70 yet. You know, and I remember we shared a walk a couple of years ago with Camperdown, with Thomas McKean and them man they play for Camp.
Olivia
So
Tree, that would be.
Olivia She.
Yeah.
Olivia She.
Yeah.
Sorry, Olivia She with Camperdown.
Thomas and Bull and Blake.
Yeah.
So, them knowledge we learned from Chung Fa then, did you take it back to Pembroke Hall for come to impart them knowledge upon the man of Pembroke Hall?
Well, unfortunately, no, because you and the Godfather conversation.
Yeah. About them time there for true. It's about
When
rally, yeah. Yeah.
Right. And them thing they were going to stadium with certain man.
Yeah.
Right. And me, I think the conflict happened because apparently it was a quick decision whether the game was supposed to be against Pembroke or Carolina. And I think we go at the stadium, rally in a FEMA in a Carolina guy. It was easier and quicker to put together a Carolina side than a Pembroke. And we go at the stadium and we in the changing room and we play the game. And, you know, we'll see a rally come to me and say, boy, rate it. Have some conflict with, you know, who we at that, man.
Yeah, Rally talk about that, man. We not forget about that, Carlton. Rally, that well, if anybody want to hear that, then go back and listen to Rally conversation. I know exactly where you're at, man. But no understand.
That incident, me and my brethren walk out of the stadium, they have never put on another shirt for Pembroke.
Wow.
That is how we end up I go Kirkvine and I play for Kirkvine.
Yeah.
As my sister used to work at Alcan, and that is the sister what me I tell you went to St. Andrew High School for girls.
Yeah.
Was, I think at the time, the only female engineer, electrical engineer, and she used to work at the plant them down there. And me used to go down there to visit her. And it's when we go down there, we start link up with the Kirkvine man, then to go down Right, and I used to play with Kirkline. And that again was another experience. We used to play with Archie Richards.
Was Musa play them time then, Carlton?
Moose?
Everton, Kamika, my cousin.
Yes. Yes. Kamika didn't there play. Me and Peter Parkin.
Yeah, he used to go Stets, I
Sets.
think. Stets him comfort.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man.
Sets. Andrews.
Yeah.
Books in a play for
A pure technical man, yeah. He used to end up a play for Reno and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So nice Uncle Ball. I used to play upon that side there, so I just go play with them. I think during them time that my brethren, Prags, I think he did make some travels to go do certain things in a foreign and then we go some schools.
That yeah, go ahead, Carlton, finish up.
Yeah, that incident, like I say, was the pivotal incident where cars was like cut out of Pembroke Hall.
Yeah,
and it's funny. Go on.
No, man, you go ahead.
And I want to tell you, say, when I play for Kirkvine, I mean, a couple of them come check me.
I type Pembroke Hall, man, them.
Yeah, but they never really check me with no bad vibes or intention. Just say, wow, no, come here play for Pembroke for Kirkvine, and you're but tell them straight. Tell them, say, yo, I put on another shirt for Pembroke Hall because the way I'm going to deal with that situation there, there's no way I'm going to do that. So that's why none of our movements from then actually did move back towards Pembroke Hall. The vibes did not change and I moved to a direction where never really want their own,
Yeah, what I can't remember. Baba Friday I believe is the same sort of reason. And I'm talking about that campaign podcast. So did you play back in the Corner League for Carwina?
I don't know if Corner League did go on back them time. I mean, if Corner League did go on during and up to them time there, right? Because we play 78 at Clarendon, we play 79, and by 80, we cut out and come apart, right? But a whole heap of Corner League used to play on some real big ball. I used to come down at the field and play some serious Corner League football. You want to bring the conversation back a little to
yeah, man, definitely.
My first recollection of real Corner League football was when Rest of the World, I think Rest of the World and Dreads, I think Rest of the World and must have tore that team must have start. And we remember I watched Rest of the World play. Them time they'd have Rally and you'd have a baller named Heater.
Eater,
They want to root that about him, yeah.
Remember him, yeah.
Them man they can't play unless them sober. But them man they drop some speed. I remember at the time, little boy. Half time, we was a little boy them on the field around and a dribble, in half time.
Yeah.
Just a run and a dribble. I play cut short. That was you and try dribble against everybody.
Yeah.
And when you get a ball, pass it, just try and keep it
pass
it. So, me was a little boy, them run around on the field at the time. Them time, they from back them time. And we remember Heater was a man that you couldn't smell it. You couldn't get rid of the rum from half time, brother. But watching and seeing them games there, it just in your brain when you just have sip all that stuff. But yeah, man, we did have some serious baller come through, man. Gerald Dugan come play P from over Washington Yards. Obviously, my brethren Prince anchor the center half, and we used to change. Raleigh did have a brethren live on the drive named Tumpy, not Tumper, Tumpy. Maybe if you know that, remember the house at Andre.
Yes,
It
man.
was right midway, which is probably just a little walk from the field. So we used to change this up and basically come play the game. That was like a little clubhouse. And, me remember that I said Gerald Dugan, Peter Dugan, with our little baller from Marvel named Jackie. Come
What?
through.
Jackie, man.
Kirkwood Brown, I think him name.
Kirkwood Brown or something like so him name.
Yeah, man, yeah.
Jackie and Leon played center midfield and Craig and Chris Maxwell.
Leon, yeah, man.
Yeah, 2 days ago, I talked to Leon for a good hour, Yeah, man.
Bunny Marshall come through one time, couple times. Remember Bunny Marshall?
Yeah, man, he play for Calabar, yeah. On the left wing, yeah.
From
Riverton City, yeah.
Bunny Marshall used to have old timer from down Pembroke Hall, from Annecy.
Yeah, timer, yeah.
Timer, yeah, man.
Yeah, we play some senior ball, and I mean, remember one specific game we play asphalt, and then time they have balls and shock, and you have them man they are playing for asphalt.
We platted them.
Platty and them man there.
Oh, and when Gary Chuck.
Then the Chuck, Gary Chuck and them man they not play.
Yeah.
Remember, we listened to Leslie podcast, and Leslie used to say we used to have a strategy where when we are playing, sometimes we just switch it and bring him up front because me and him just have an understanding. You come in, truth be known, Raleigh I'm a brother, but we grew up more with Leslie than any other person around the place. Leslie are like literal brother.
Yeah.
And he usually come up front and come play center forward. I remember we play asphalt and big monkey garden, the thing they come play that game to, him drop out. They just drop out recently.
Who that Carlton, never hear the name?
Bancroft Garden.
Oh, Bancroft, Banky, yeah.
I think Banky didn't even come now because Banky and Balf and them man, they Briscoe excels together.
Yeah.
So, I think I must say 3-1 them get the day, because when they never had no answer for Leslie, I come up front, come play forward. Right.
Skelly too skinny.
They never had no answer for him, brother.
Skelly needs some muscle.
Me I run busybody, go down cross it, Leslie up and a jump and a buck and don't make him get a shot off of your goal. Goalkeeper got off a duck.
Off a duck.
Yeah, I think at 3 or 4-1 them get the day. That was a memorable game about against them, man. But
So you didn't play
real quality come true.
Yeah, man, yeah, but me ask Carlton, you didn't play in the minor league for Pembroke Hall?
Yeah, man, Carlton and me play minor league together.
Which year that, brother?
That's a 77 with Backhead, Flonia Keep, Backhead, Preco, Porky, Paul Harvey. Even Mafia did play.
Tyrell Walker.
Yeah.
You're right. I don't really remember I playing a whole heap of minor league.
I just had one season that they play. I don't think they play another season. I think I just saw one there.
Yeah. I never play a whole heap of minor league.
Remember O'Neill Baker did put up knee in my solar plexus when we played during the park.
Yeah, the reason why I asked Carlton, Pembroke Hall, were you aware that Pembroke Hall had won minor league before?
No, I don't remember that per se. No. Just remember my minor league experience with Bobby Fider coach. Never did make that side. Go with them, for example, bridging them, them I go. And we go down to Franklin Town and we end up and play against Donahue. I think Donahue, a youth named Donahue.
Yeah, when we play it was Sally Miller, Briscoe. Them time the Bobby Fire step off because of the season.
The CM stuff, yeah. I think you're right. Sally Miller, I think probably that control at the time, yes. Yes, you're right. But somehow I don't remember much of them games for some reason.
Did you play a Carolina with Kenneth Dirty Harry?
Yeah, and actually, I remember I played with Carolina. I remember I would play a game in the stadium. I don't remember if it was a practice game or something again. And I team at the stadium and Dirty Harry did play with it. I think I don't know, Balance it come play with me one time. But Dirty already play with me, man.
Yeah, man, him did move come a pantry pant. Him and Leon as pantry pant, man, did play with Carolina.
Yeah. Dirty already did play with him a little bit. Probably wasn't a really long time. But they meeting up at Howard with him, when we go Howard.
You did?
Yeah. When we go Howard, he was there. Banky Garden did already. Matt Feely go.
Yeah.
Goalkeeper named Gilbert McPherson from Cornwall. And they keep on a juvenile.
Oh, McPherson. Yeah.
Him, when we go Howard, they play a little bit with Kenneth. Dirty or PZ. That one there was wicked defender. You know him against them.
Well, one time him tackle typo in a inter-house match in front of the gym. I excel to the boy, I tell you. The man him have to send a stretcher for typo.
You mentioned the gym I excel. You remember the gym ball and we used to play I excel, brother.
Legendary thing them that say it's still a play.
Really?
Yeah, man. On a Saturday, same way the man am around gym ball till how much time at night. And Lance, when Briscoe mentioned gym ball, I tell a man come from all corners of Kingston come play gym ball for Excel.
That is like a big covered thing with concrete in it, amigo. If I remember right,
it's an indoor gym with a basketball court.
Yeah. I'm no way attack.
And it have light, and the man them have a two long exercise bench where them just turn sideways and they have to goal them that. So you have to lick shot. Can't go no more than about 12 inches high. If not, you miss. You see me? But it's man from everywhere. All of the ball of them, name ball of them, come on all a Saturday, you want there's wagwan.
It's very famous, man. Very famous.
But back in the day, they used to come in the evening too sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Lenny T, them and all of them, man, they ride in enough bike.
Yeah, man. Donaldson, all of them, man, they come through the
Lord. Yes.
Serious gym ball.
Me ask you something, Carlton, because earlier you had mentioned Messi. I know it's a Messi not there no more. And I never realized that the Costa Cup match when I send the picture and send it to you where you and Messi are playing. How did it feel when you realized you had two Pembroke Hall man are playing at the Costa Cup final against each other? You remember that match, eh?
Well, the match, to be honest with you, that was what? I think at 79 that was, I think that was 79. I didn't beat the penalty shootout. I didn't know Messi, because Messi did play on the juvenile side in me at 78. Right? And we never really think of it as two Pembroke Hall man I play against one another. I just Messi is a ball, I know him and me know him from juvenile. We just play against one another. We never really see it as two Pembroke Hall. When you send me the picture and me realize and me say shoot. Come to think of it, that really two Pembroke Hall name that I play against one another in that game there.
Yeah, man, that was something else. That was when I see the picture after all these years. That was a special moment for us to say two Pembroke Hall primary, two Pembroke Hall man, two biggest football in Jamaica at the time. When I see the picture with the two of them, I said, yeah.
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 Yeah, give thanks for that picture there, Brendan, because I'm not telling a lie. I mean, it's, I'm sorry. I mean, Messi was a special ball. Me, but, unfortunately, every man don't run the same path in our life. And,
No.
like some demons catch him a hole in.
Yeah, man. That was and was unfortunate, Carlton. Cause a long time much about it. So yeah, I know exactly where I talk. So I mean, I just one of them things there. One of them things in life. You don't know. Sometimes you don't know life I go turn you a certain way, So yeah. But were you surprised that it turned out to be such a great footballer though when you see him play?
No, I mean, when Messi did their juvenile, man, we are playing for a juvenile squad. And the juvenile squad did have some nice ball fight to it. And it was just one of them man, they don't talk much, just quiet, calm. But say no guy can't trouble you when you play on the field. Man, they got your back. You know what I mean? It remind me well, my brethren Leslie, when I play with him, no guy can't do me nothing on the field. Because say forward, I got feel like for them going away.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that feeling when we play with O'Neill Russell. Remember, a skiller from Clarendon.
Junior skill, yeah, man. Yeah.
When you play with them, man, they make you feel comfortable when you play. Man. You can't do anything you want because no guy can attack you, look a funny way. Say feel them, man, they gonna feel it too.
You have protection.
Protection. You understand? And Messi was one of them, man, they in a more calm way, trust me.
Yeah, in my mind, film talent develop late because I never go to traditional high school till late till him go dental. Him never go, and in a sense, you can, but him develop late, but him develop fast and into a great player. So yeah.
And more in upward trajectory and in development kind of happen when me they gone away.
You're right.
I cut out right after Clarendon College.
Yeah, and it's
when we left Clarendon College, I could have played another year at schoolboy football.
Oh, that's how young you were.
Yeah, when we leave and go.
After November, after September too.
A 2 year they have CCA.
Yeah.
78,
79, and we could have technically play another year.
Yeah.
It was like, I really think there's nothing else really prove. I'm going to cut. That is how I end up. I go Howard University. That again, it was another chapter in my life, which was, really great.
Well, talk about that, Carlton. Talk about that. Come, I'm going to ask you about that too. How that did go? Let me ask the question away. Yeah. Who did set up the Howard link for the scholarship fee? How that did go?
Lincoln Phillips through Chongfa through Banky. Because Banky did leave and gone to Howard, right? And Banky kind of make a recommendation for me to Lincoln Phillips. Partly because they carry Mappy when we go up there, it was me, MacP, and Gigi. And, you know, Banky story and Banky stuff. A matter of fact, there's a interesting, it was giving a talk to some potential Howard University kids coming up to Howard University, and he was saying, well, you know, when he went to Howard and started, it was more football, and then the man them do little academics. But then when him go, him kind of change around the model and end up bringing players who could have deal with both the football and the academics.
Mm-hmm.
Because the reality is when you go Howard as an athlete, if you maintain like a 3.1 above, you can come off of that athletic scholarship and up on an academic scholarship. And a half a scholarship you now can then go to a next player. So that was kind of a model going through school at that time. You know, you get a chance, you go to school, you just know, so you have to do some book work and do what you do. And, you know, truth be known, I mean, when I at Jamaica and I go through primary school and high school, to be honest with you, I never consider myself an exceptional student. I never think about work on them little, to be honest with you. I used to just do enough to kind of get by, you know.
Wait, say, he wasn't a road scholar like Raleigh. Because Raleigh to lose a 4 year level him up, you know. I say Raleigh.
Raleigh have a
4 year level. Yo.
No, I'm not a road scholar. I'm a little track or a part scholar. Yeah, little track, not a full road.
Yeah. I hear you.
Even though that is not what it means still.
No man, I know what you say, man. I understand what you say, Carlton. Yeah. I understand. Yeah, man.
Yeah, the truth of the matter is, Virgin, I mean, we used to do enough to get to the next level at school.
Just enough. Yeah.
Remember when I go primary school, I mean, every report card me get was Carlton can do much better if he would only apply himself. You could have just photocopy that and do it.
You do remember you were top 3 going from 4th grade into the 5A. That's how we ended up in a Miss Scott class together.
Remember that.
So,
I must have been because my mother did that force me.
but is your mother the teacher that year then? Listen, let me tell you this. I used to envy Carlton, Mr. Boy, your mother, until Mrs. Briscoe draw the cane for Carlton. I said, boy, I'm glad that not my mother teach me.
Yeah.
Again. We'll come back to the Howard thing. What should it beat me for again? I think an incident did happen on the playground with some girl and she must have sent me in up a scrape or a crack or something. And
but we also had a mirror incident. My Carlton used to possess a little mirror. We don't know where we get it from, man, but
he would
have put him foot. Yes, he would have put him foot on the mirror and me put my foot on you. The girl come and talk to her, we just take time, ease her.
Yeah. Andrew, I just said that. I remember the move that we started, yeah.
We were discovered.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, and Mrs. Briscoe made sure that when we got to Mrs. Scott class, we sit down at the desk right in front of
her. Yeah. I'm a Scott now play either, man. Now play or don't know.
No.
Andre, you remember that beating with the whole class we get?
There was a substitute called Mrs. Scott had gone to UWI for do something, and a teacher named Mrs. Russell come take over, man. And Carlton and myself, we have our desk was Wembley for money football, because our desk well sandpaper down and thing. And we there was an assignment and we brush it off early as usual, and you know, have a little time for go and idle. and two man run on the back start a tussle. Antonio Crump, and I believe I want to say Mario Burt. And a little eruption broke out in the class, like a tussle and fighting, and the teacher come and walk in from the excitement. Brother, it's what I'm calling. We decided that we weren't going to give up the guilty part. I don't remember where they got up.
She come in and start ask, who was fighting and who was this. In class, nobody not give up who. And she say, and then now tell me. She line up everybody in the class and start beat.
That's a substitute?
Yeah, man, it's Russell.
Brother, by the time she reach around to me, the cane spitting at two. And my hand them, to this day, I can't remember the wheel them from my hand. Literally almost a bleeding.
Yes.
Because you get beaten in your hand and the cane come up on the middle part of your hand.
Yeah, man, on the first part of your hand. Yeah.
Your forearm, the man. And
yeah.
Brother, the whole class get beaten the day. I know she still not know. I know why we feel so.
What would I? Let me ask you something. For the girl that music get caning?
Yeah, man. Everybody
in the class get lit that day.
Yeah.
No matter who you be.
Another reason for caning, when you get the practice exam them for common entrance, and you exchange book and then mark it. If you get under 50, just go up front right away.
I get a caning.
Yeah, and Mrs. Scott used to have a leather belt where she used to roll up on her belt. The leather belt must be like an inch and a half thick to rat. Let me tell you something, man.
And Mrs. Goff's sister that.
And Mrs. Goff's sister, you're right.
Yeah.
But Andre, and Carlton, remember me to get killed for primary school, and we must remember this in it. So when lunchtime come, I outside I play like I play stocky. You can't go back in and your khaki shirt wet,
No, your shirt back can't hang.
You're mad, man.
Me not know. We used to play stocky all the time, though.
Yeah, but man, you have to line up on a fan.
Yeah, man, and take off your shirt and fan it out and all the way there, yeah.
Or is a line up one man have exercise book behind you, or you have fan and
yeah. If you go inside and your shirt back wet, man, it's a lick you get on your back on that the wet shirt, man, alright?
Yeah, man. Yep.
But so that same stocky game there actually help your ball skills.
Yeah, man. Yes.
You can turn, you can move for try shift.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I change direction quickly and all the way. Yes, Carlton. Yeah.
I didn't think that you care for ball skills. Working on them. But anyway, which bar we talk about?
Howard, they talk about Howard, yeah.
Yeah, and the truth of the matter is, I never really started in school work until I reach Howard. It's when I reach Howard, I said to myself, I see the path to the professional level. Because, if you really play and say, well, go England or go somewhere for really thing there, most of them time there's like 2 or 3 foreign man could have played in the English league and them thing at them time there. I mean, when we did young about 16, 17, 18, me and Raleigh did have a talk one time and we'd have got try go England, go try look up, but it never really worked coming to fruition and them time them never really does get up on. But when we reach Howard, I realized, boy, I mean, I really see a true path to a professional career. I said, boy, Briscoe, I think you need to sit down and take the book feet. So, luckily, like I said, I had done, even though me used to scrape by and whatever, I had done enough to be able to take the SAT and get enough to get in a college. And you must have paid some attention because you just get up and take the SAT without no whole heap of prep and get enough to enter college. Also, she was saying, listen somewhere along the line, even though you never did apply yourself as much. But, going to Howard is when we really start realizing, we need to graduate. And being monks, Banky and MacP and some of them other men which were very gifted academically too. You realize, boy, you have to do something and flip this so that the next man can get the opportunity for on your scholarship, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't consider myself a Rhodes scholar like Raleigh and Harald and the rest of my sisters, but just
You
doing
could have
this
hold your
now.
own. You could have more than hold your own. If you take SAT and pass that, you could have more than hold your own.
Yeah. At the time, I never did really realize it.
Yeah.
Because shit. I have to go do this again now.
Me never
And yeah.
tell the truth, Carlton. I never know SAT is.
Yeah.
Me never exposed to that at all.
Mm.
I said me want to come a foreign university. Me just think about UER CAS. It wasn't, that never crossed my mind at all. Never. So
I took the SAT too,
yeah.
Yeah, man, I just did it for fun because what happened, me did go play a game against Colombia. When what name that you from Excess I did it too. My name, oh God. Him that played there before the Zady brother them end up at Colombia. And then them tell myself
Columbia University attack Tomba.
Yeah, that was Salah.
Salah. Yeah, when Salah was.
Oh, Excelsior man that. A Salah Gale him name?
Yeah, man.
Salaman.
Salaman
man,
Gale, yeah. I like
Yeah,
that.
man. Excelsior, yeah. So I got to take the exam. We just got to take it to just like Briscoe said, same way. We just got to take the exam. No preparation or anything. So yeah, no I'm at all about.
So after the whole thing then, Carlton, you never bother take the football seriously at all. After you change trajectory and I say you go focus on the academics.
Forward 1983. We have a girlfriend when we did meet at Clarendon College. And, come back home for a holiday at Christmas and, 2 and 2, boom, boom, get a call. What you want to see?
Okay.
What is it?
What you want to see? So, them time the rally that I work with Air Jamaica and, we could have easily get a ticket.
Yeah.
And that's another thing to you to can flag about 1/10 of the cost from Air Jamaica them time. And matter of fact, I give a joke. I remember one time in the Excelsior and I take one of them trips from about Thursday to about to the weekend and come back Monday. And my big brother in Canada line me up with sweatsuit and boots and bag and when I come back Rasta, the man I think say, boy, the one Briscoe rich. The man knows that me I travel for rally business. From them time them I use body pass.
Yeah.
But sure, we get over that. But what me say?
Responsibility lick you. That's how we attack.
Yes.
One another over.
Yeah. Yes. So we get the call, say, boy, you want to see and my away and 1, 2, and we realize that boy, really only option is for me and I to get married and to come stay with me. And that is what we end up doing. So right there again, you realize that boy, yeah, responsibilities and stuff. So, but now I go do it.
So Carlton, you never consider. Well, by 84, I think them never have it anymore. The NASL, when that did end? NASL. I mean, we used to go to Jersey go watch the match then with Cosmos,
Yeah, well, you have to understand so them thing there was a name thing, bro.
Yeah,
They are bringing a name to draw a crowd because they are trying to build ball and time.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, my name and Howard not gonna be enough to be able when them not draft man them. But these
Right.
people like man with name Becky Bar Pilly and some of them man they with them are pulling in to try and big
Yeah.
ball.
And they
You
bring
know
a
what I
youth
mean?
from Trinidad named Chinapo, Richard Chinapo.
Yeah, some of that family used to play some tournament in the States there, up at Blair Road when I play for Jamaica Nats, play against Chinapo.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, going back to the story, you just kind of realize, boy, you just have to take the book feet. And that is the most sure part to be able to, take care of responsibilities. Because my daughter born in September 19th. And tell the brethren, I mean, them time they being a father, get married at 21 and by 22, me have a daughter and me go to
Yeah.
school and take care of my wife and kid and everything there. It was just, hey, you just have to do what you have to do,
You have to grow up
but
quick.
grow up quick and, but to be honest with you, it never fazed me, because me and my girlfriend at the time, to be honest with you, even when we was like 18, we start conversation and I said, boy, to be honest with you, if I could have my youth them right now, would have loved to have them. Because the way them and them can go along the line, and look like me that call along something to myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I never realized it. And as a matter of fact, oh shoot, come to think of it, now September what is? That birthday come up 21st, will come up on September, yeah.
2 day time.
And she 40.
Yeah.
She turned 40.
Yeah, time flies.
So yeah, I started early, but it never fails me because then time you're strong and you're young and you just do what you need to do. I used to work Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and still go class and do all of them things to make sure so you graduate and graduate on time. Because now so you have to graduate because working any kind of them little small minimum wage job, they're not going to cut it.
No.
Right.
Definitely
So
not.
yeah, you have to buckle on and that, But
So you in business also, Carlton? It's counting our
yeah,
finance
yeah,
like that.
yeah. I did get a BA, graduated a BA in accounting.
Okay.
So that's what I've been doing as a living for a long time. There was a time when we did even said, boy, I want to get into the coaching thing, and we did go into the coaching thing for a little bit. Coach full time for about 3 years. Go through the coaching school up here, and get the licensing and all them things that them have. Did a Briscoe soccer school brand, but I kind of quickly find so boy it was difficult to duplicate myself, to really make it big enough
Yeah.
to run camps and really make a living out of it. I never see the pathway to kind of be able to expand to the level where I really would have liked to do, and just kind of take the safe route and go back in a accounting. So that's pretty much what I'm doing today.
Yeah, the coaching thing is
So
a tough thing to take on. Especially when I look to make money out of it. If you do it out of love initially, and yeah, I know what you say, Carlton.
and if you try to do it right,
Yeah, you want it the right way.
because
Yeah.
they used to have some man I know who used to run camps and them 3-4 camp go on and they would pop in for one day for them name around the camp and other people that do the coaching. We feel
Right.
like that's change the people there.
Yeah, you want to
What I
give.
mean?
Yeah. I got you.
And a lot of times the parents them want me to coach them youth. Because I used to do private lessons and all them things and I mean them want.
Yeah.
So I never feel comfortable a short change to people them behind with money attached to it.
Yeah.
So we decide to just kind of draw back and eat and decide so well, you know.
If you have something you want to do it properly, man, you want to do it well, you just
Do it the right way.
you're right,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
put my name behind something.
No, you're not. Yeah,
You know.
yeah. But me
But
ask you,
if we go back a little bit, you know, because since you said it, I wanted to interject this when you mentioned what Chung Fa said to you. I don't know, hey Lance, if you don't realize how Carlton played, this is one of the things I always notice about him when I'm a player. Him always take that look round. You know? I didn't know that's where him get it from, but that's how I always notice how him play, you know? Him always take that look round and I see what's going on around him, as him said. So now I know where it come from. You know? Strong far, tell him. But it to me, it was very obvious. When you say it, you know, you can't just see you. You just get an instant picture of you.
yeah, the ball that come to him and man look to him left and right and over him shoulder, yeah.
Yes, him always flashing. So that's why when me hear some man talk about Messi play and everything, I always laugh about it because to me, me did always see you doing it and a lot of ballers at Jamaica do that thing, you know? Always know what's going on around them. You know, but for you it was kind of pronounced to me when I see it. When you mention it, it just came visionary, you know, I could get a visual, you know, view of it when you said it. So it makes sense to me when you said Chungy talk.
Yeah, but the way in which him say it and bring it across to me, I thought was just, you know, just brilliant. Him just say,
man.
where they behind him?
Yeah.
And me I say, well, in order to know where they behind him, I have to turn around and look. And him just never expound no more, you know. Him just say exactly and move to the next person. And that's when I say, it's up to me whether I'm going to get where I mean or not. And trust me, take it to a sort of level where me just know, you know.
Yeah, man.
But to be honest,
I can see it.
Yeah. To be honest with you, when I look back on my football development, I mean, I have to consider myself very, very blessed and fortunate. I have been fortunate to be around some good football minds who teach me some really, really senior lessons, right? And you go back to the Godfather, Raleigh, right?
Yeah.
When Raleigh see my potential when I was about 8, 9, and I said, why, you know, for real, yeah. Because they look for me one day, you know, and them say, youth, if she say you have some decent potential, you know. You see, if you want on a big baller, first thing you have to do even better start smoke. As much as Raleigh was 12 tribe them time and a pure weed, the man them smoke. The man looked at me and said, don't even bother start smoke. Right? The next thing he looked at me and him say, don't bleach and stay out the road at night. For no holy level, you have to go home and you have to sleep because you need for rest and recover to be fit to play ball. Right?
Yeah.
The next thing he looked at me and him say, don't eat no whole heap of butter. Make a butter with fat up on your heart and give you heart disease. You never know what's a cholesterol problem you talk about, you know. You never know the intricacies of the biology.
Right.
He might tell me them things from me 8, 9, you know, and to this day.
Wow.
Me not do none of them things upon a real level. Me no smoke. Me no drink occasionally.
Alcohol and them things there?
Me drink occasionally. Me not if me drink right now, glass of wine more and sleep.
Yeah. And the reason I ask you that, you know, Carlton, today I talk to my daughter about that because I explained to her for years now, she hear me keep saying, you know, me keep saying to her, you know, and other people, she keep hearing me saying this about Deion Sanders. And I keep saying to her, them have nothing on Deion Sanders. Years I've been saying that, right? Because they would have bring him down long time, right? And she come to me today, me and her watch something on it, and she said to me, "Boy, Daddy, I remember you always a talk about that, you know." And see there, we just watch something, and him say him never smoke nor drink,
Right.
you know, because she was asking me what how him plays so much sports. I said, him get him rest, get
Yeah,
him
yeah,
rest,
yeah.
yeah.
Good at the two sport, them baseball and football. Yeah, Tompa. Yeah, yeah,
And basketball
yeah, yeah,
and track and field,
yeah,
four sports,
yeah.
you know. So we
But
can't skip
Raleigh,
out. Makes sense for Raleigh, tell you.
Raleigh teach me them thing, and to this day, me have to give him big props and respect because the man who is die-hearted 12 tribes still today. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? He look for me and him say, don't even bother start more. I
Mm-hmm.
want to draw me, but take off and split, you know, in
Mm-hmm.
my life, right? I
That
want to draw me, but take off a cigarette. And I
Mm-hmm.
just to kind of find out to say wait about, right?
Right.
The monks them man them don't a Clarendon and you know say 3/4 of them, but just about everybody did smoke. And Maria said, "Boy, skipper come, you know, come jam with me and thing and me then at the crowd and boom 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 and you know me take a one draw and never really do me nothing. Me never
Mm-hmm.
as Barack Obama said never inhale or something.
no, I think a Clinton said that.
I
A Clinton.
Clinton
Yeah,
say
man, a
never
Clinton.
inhale.
You know, you're
So must have never.
Luciano say lie. You ever watch one of Luciano live show them? Luciano say lie that.
Smoke, but you never inhale. That I want.
Yeah.
That
So
I want draw more than me, Carlton. I never take a draw yet. So
yeah,
I don't you know.
yeah.
and
Yeah.
going back again, Andre, you remember Mr. Dwyer Excelsior?
Glenn Neil Dwyer, man.
You remember Mr. Dwyer?
Yes, I. Glenn Neil Dwyer, what?
Mr. Dwyer impart some knowledge for me as a youth to Excelsior. Me I talk about, you know, man who
You know, sir, he was one of the teacher them where you could have sit down for hours and reason with after school long at the industrial arts room. Just yeah, it was a deep brethren, you know, FIFA
I think
referee and
exactly was a ball and I was a referee.
yeah,
And
FIFA referee.
So the
Yeah.
Excelsior alum to
Mr.
Andre.
But he
Listen,
taught
Mr.
industrial arts, building drawing and mechanical
Okay,
drawing.
okay. Mm-hmm.
It
And he
wasn't
was
a
a
lot,
captain
but
in the military.
right, but him was a referee and him know ball.
Yeah,
And
man.
me remember again after morning cup training, um, him come to me and him pull me aside and him say, "Come here." So listen, you have potential as a baller. You're a good football player, but first thing him say, you want the ball all the time. Cause the truth of the matter is, me never see a ball, me never want. When me have to play, right? So you want the ball all the time. And him say, anytime you can play a game, a full game, and don't touch the ball and have the biggest impact on your team, that is when you can play football. Listen, I'm a person, where my top, right? And when you think about it, right, then basically has said to me, when you don't have the ball, you have to play the game. Right? You don't have to have the ball effort all the time. You have an influence. You help your team. You help
Right.
communicate. You push a
Right.
money so you channel a money so you do something. You organize and you look and you don't have to touch the ball to be a
Right. Yeah, impact the game. Yeah.
yeah, impact the game
Yeah,
by
man.
playing the game mentally. You do even have to touch the ball. Them say anytime you get to that stage there with the skills and stuff where you have, your game are gonna be to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
Him drop that knowledge there for me. Other piece of knowledge him drop on me. Him say, listen, there was a time when me I get very petulant when a man foul me. And him say, listen, when a man foul you, it only means say you are do something better than him and I get the better than him, why him have to foul you. So when him foul you and you turn around and do something and go potentially get a card, weird. You only are playing a fee, man.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
One red card never get in my life, you know. Me don't remember getting yellow card, you know. One red card me remember because when Mr. Dwyer tell me. A man kick me down, me just get up and start play.
Yeah.
Remember 1978, who used to run the middle pan Argentina side?
As the RD
He come and name as the RD.
him go and go play for Spurs, yeah man, yeah.
When Mr. Dwyer tell me that me start watch as the RD that man the everything run through him. And when them kick him down, he just a chew him gun and just get up and start the play. No argument, no quarrel. And when Mr. Dwyer explained to me, he said, yo, when he explained to me, remember them thing and start. You know? So when a man foul you because you gotta get the better of him and him have to do something to get to slow you down or do something. So don't give him the benefit of you getting a card or not. You know, so I have been fortunate with having people who would have just look for me and just impart knowledge for me.
Good mentor right crowd, yeah.
Mentor, right? Remember I played Pembroke Hall and Dirks. Remember Dirks, referee Dirks?
Yeah man, Winston,
Dirks
Campbell, yeah man.
Campbell,
yeah.
yeah.
Dirks used to referee most of the kind of league game, man.
Yeah.
And me I play already and Dirks I ref and Dirks I say, you know what's in the pass round and so.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Say, next time go on like you're gonna look back next time this the real danger pass this.
I think Dirk used to play too, you know, Carlton.
No, Dirk's a man.
Yeah, that me here. I think I
Scaly older brother.
Yeah.
Raleigh used to tell me Dirk's a lovely baller, right? And then man they used to impact me. Remember I play against senior ballers. We are play against who would impart knowledge to you because them kind of see your potential. You understand?
Yeah.
And they feel like today in the football we are going to them. I don't really feel like say how holy for that are going because nowadays when you talk to the youth them don't even want to hear what you have to tell them.
No.
Back then you played an opposition with a seal, right? I tell you say next time that you should have do as an elder.
Yeah man, I true that.
You understand?
Yeah.
I mean I see them think no more.
No.
So
you think the youth them change Carlton or the elder them change? You think we don't want to pass on the knowledge and the youth them don't want to hear or what the difference? What do you think of?
I guess the youth them don't want to hear. Feel them a lot of time.
The youth don't want to hear, man.
Know it already.
Yep.
And them cost so much more money involved in the ball, you know. You can't chat to them at all.
At a video game and them a watch game and them think them know it, as Carlton said. Them think them know it. You know? You can't teach them.
But in your Carlton said earlier, cassette tape and I listen. And I learn football.
Carlton is a student of the game.
You can't imagine. Just imagine. You bring some tape and I say, listen to this. I swear I learned. Just try that to one of them youth and what up.
They must say, "Wagwan elder, you're mad."
but you know what is the bigger takeaway from that? Can you imagine having access to a mind like Winston Chongfa, like just as much as you want, and simply because you have a desire, you might just invest that time there.
Yeah.
Hey, you can't put a price tag on that, and that is, hey Carlton, I didn't know what. Cause your mama said me graduate 77 and me went and I came abroad, and the next thing me hear said, boy, Briscoe there a CC. So tonight is really the first time I understand what got you to CC.
Yeah.
And how, well, to me, he was a big baller from
Excellent,
the bias, right? No,
Yeah.
I say this all the time on the podcast. I'm biased. The best football I ever played with a Carlton Briscoe. The best football I ever
But
played.
I'm a bias, you know. Most of us did, all right, most of us, we did fear him too, you know. If you talk to Bucket the whole away, we fear Carlton.
But you said the thing about it.
We know him a youth, you know. We know him a youth, you know, but to see him as a big man, because I play with the big man then.
Yeah, well, but you see, this are my brethren where you listen. Remember when Mr. Go buy two 26 by 1.25 inch rim and some ear light hub. Because we make bicycle and Briscoe have a red and white down angle fixed wheel, right? You remember that bicycle?
I remember that bicycle, yes, but you know, me up with that down angle there. When did this Briscoe buy me an actual 10-speed bicycle?
Yeah.
Was it so when it passed come on entrance or something? But she didn't buy it for me. I think I don't remember even which part she buy me. And the only real present me can remember if I get that in my life. And after a while, it didn't have a gear change on it. And the gear change actually every minute it slip off and get problem. And the bad down angle that fits wheel that we are talking about, a brother from Pembroke Hall, I remember why he didn't have it. For some reason, he's fascinated with the gear change. I know, so me just swap the bicycle with him. So that's how me did end up with a bicycle. I didn't love that fits wheel.
That fits wheel that did Chris. I remember it did spray white and have some little red stripe down on the saddle post. Go down the bottom.
Andre, you can't explain to the generation that come after what a fifth wheel is, you know. Because I'm going to hear this and I say, I want to talk about. Explain to them what a fifth wheel is and the danger of a fifth wheel.
Well, all right. Well, most people know about a free wheel that you can coast. So you pedal and then you just stop pedal and it just go on. The ratchet just go on. Click, and you move. Well, a fixed wheel is a cog and just what it says, fixed. That means the pedal don't stop turning once the bike moving. And usually you don't have a regular brakes on that.
Right. And if you press back, that is how you really slow down the bicycle. You have to press back on the pedal.
And if you go too fast, Carlton.
Or you have to put your foot underneath it.
And chip the bicycle.
And jump.
Listen.
Put your foot under it and jump it.
And if you go too fast, somebody can't stop the fifth wheel. The fifth wheel throw you off like a horse.
Man. Or you put your shoes on the back of it and try.
Yeah,
man.
Or if you're barefoot, you have to do it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yo.
Remember. Yeah, talk about that. Remember, we are race a brother down Petterton Avenue there. I come down from up 4 of our projects. I'll come down towards Carolina. And he would name cheap to it. The kind of a little bit, you know, this is how things I'm a little chipping in my head. I'm kind of half crazy or whatever. And the man I come down the line, you know, and the man no want lose race, you know, and I wait down to the corner, you know, before the man decide to put him barefoot in the back of the wheel to try slow it down. I move straight in Richie Wellington gate, the man running in, man. You don't know Richie Wellington, Andre.
Yeah, man, Richie.
Straight in Richie Wellington gate, the man run because you know I lose.
Yeah. Yeah, man. You have the man to stay away the man. If that's why I win Carlton, the
next man did have breaks. I see him. I tell you that straight now the man get the man, you know.
And when the pass winning post, him can't stop a blow.
Can't stop me, I tell you, brother.
But you
look, I can't let that go.
Yeah.
You remember a man named Luke Crichton, Carlton, Owen Crichton?
The name sound familiar now. Which
The
one is
music of
it?
Pembroke Hall to
Luke.
Andre.
Yeah, man, him did in our class in a 5A.
Yeah,
But
man.
Luke used to live
Him have a sister in my class at
Cardiff
primary, yeah.
Avenue.
You know what you talk. I know it's the name Altia or
Him
something
used
like
to,
that.
him used to live on Cardiff Hall, right? As you pass Chippenham on the left side, right? And me to get a 10 speed for pass common entrance and Luke get a chopper. And somehow we exchange bicycle and I ride up Pembroke Hall Drive. I must ride, there's a bull area that crash, you know, like a rough area.
Right in front of the school.
And
Yeah.
in front of the school. And the two I would turn over, man. Luke, me bend up Luke front wheel and my gear cable bust. That's how me end up a switch now to the fixed wheel.
Okay.
Down angle like Carlton.
But,
Wow, you
Well,
mentioned
enough bicycle there ride up Pembroke Hall, man.
yeah, man.
Come
Yeah,
on,
man.
Lancer them used to race on Aqualita. Lancer Deer and Skelly and Richie Sample and all of them used to race.
You see, bicycle racing, they come in like scrimmage.
Yeah, man, scrimmage and yeah, man, and running and yeah, a part of this.
Yeah, man, every road you go have them own scrimmage, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
And enough bicycle up on the road that a bicycle race have to go on every night, man, yeah.
And if it's one bicycle,
that.
like ride by about 15 man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned Bulari as a real Pembroke Hall memory and legend. Boy, Bulari was one of the best mechanics ever see work, you know. Miss Briscoe used to have a like a blue Anglia. She didn't get
Yes,
I remember that.
That car there was the easiest car for driving. No matter how I that me learn to drive for it over. She used to make me wash it and when I drive it out and wash it and put it back in. The next thing you know, me drive down at the corner and come back. And before you know it, me at the top of Pembroke come around and take. But Bulari, Miss B used to carry the car go to church, brother them. And every time she carry the car go to church, brother them thief back. And the car can't fix properly. And Raleigh I say, give the car to Bulari, make Bulari fix the car. Give the car to Bulari. So one day she broke down and say, all right. Bulari come down on the yard in a bridge and as a little youth. Watch Bulari pull down the car engine, you know. I mean, I talk about piston, everything, all the way down. And the man put all of the boat them in a one bucket with kerosene oil, right? And after the man clean out the engine and clean out the this and then do this and then whatever and then put the thing back together, you know, brother. The man just push him hand in the kerosene, dirty kerosene oil with bolt, you know. You understand me? And he just feel around and I said, no, I don't want to know this come up with the right nut and start screw. It's not even like you bring it up and look on it and put it on. Just feel. You know, the old dirty currency knife. And he just come up with the right nut and yeah, man, and start. And see the man pull down the engine and put the car back together. And me I tell you, sir, are the best the car ever function. You talk about compression and ups and I tell you, when the man drop out, brother, at Pembroke Hall, it was like, I tell you, say, it was a real sad day.
You want that was
Remember the day?
Yeah.
It's like him come on the field. Me remember him come on the field and say, boy, you know, me have a quick move for me, I want to forget a game or something and he did again acquire. Me remember the full story.
Yeah, man, quarrel, man, and kick with the ball.
And when we done play a ball and I walk, go down, we see the commotion down in front of the school. Tell you.
Yeah, the school in front of the school is like a demon spot, it's like a ghost spot, right in front of that school. I'm more one man.
Pat.
Yeah, man.
I'm more one
Yeah, the bike.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
But
Kingston was cool.
let me ask you something, Carlton,
My
because
niece died right there now.
yeah,
Really?
My niece died
accident to
right there.
Tompa.
Yeah, she get off the bus and I don't know why she ran across the street, she ran behind the bus. So it was her fault. You know, she ran behind the bus and car lick her down, kill her.
Yeah,
Right
man.
to the school.
Remember I run pan with him name that I don't know if Carlton remember Fitzharper.
The little brother died.
Yeah, I was doing it for right in front of the school lesson. You know me attack Carlton.
Yeah,
Which
man.
Poo, them brother?
Younger brother, yeah. I forget how him the name.
Yeah, I don't remember him name either, but
But yes, I remember the name sound familiar.
you'd have a man lived on, I think I down a Carolina, they'd have a truck, and it's the man, the truck kill him.
Yeah. I think I know that same era to Andre. But me ask you something, Carlton, because Andre always talks say you go Excelsior and you was a track star as well around 200-meter champs. You want?
Yeah, well, honest with you, to be honest with you, we did some running here. I run 4x2 at Gibbs, and we actually run 800 and 1500 at champs. Can you hear me?
Yeah, man. Why hear you, man? Go ahead.
Yeah, it's not like something they cut out. But my track career kind of started from just a play ball. Carl Bradshaw used to be the track coach on Excelsior.
Yeah.
Brady them used to yeah. And Brady just see me and play ball on the field and I said, boy, you look fit and thing like you could have do some track and running and thing and rate it. And I said, sure, I don't really know. But then we used to have house competition. Alan House games. I don't even remember the name of the host, but I remember the name Alan House. You remember them hosted Andre?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
A win time. Yeah,
but anyway, we used to have sports day. And we run sports day, we run 1500 sports day, and a youth named Pipo where Andre they talk about. They'd have the 1500, the 800 meter record. And I go run the 800 and I win, and I think my knock was about 5 seconds after the record. And from that, Bradshaw was pissed. Yes, Brady. He's a baller, brother. I can't just run around the fields up and training, track business, I have to have something for run now. Either a ball or a woman or something, but something I have to run now. We can't just run so. And most of the track what we do are just ball fitness me do one thing there. I mean, we run the Gibson 4x2 and we run a blowout third leg and come off of the corner and well, I never even know they did have them kind of speed there. And they get the youth the bottom. I remember who did that anchor the race for Excel, so I still can't remember them. I can't see him a little bit. And when we give him, I say, yes, you look like me in the middle. You know, we that run the anchor leg. You see, a brother named Smalls. Remember rocking it?
Yeah, man, Windsworth, yeah.
And a youth from Calabar. Remember when named Richards or something. And then a youth from Camperdown. The 3 man then was running down and rocking it small. It's a rocking it side. I mean, just see the medal and go. A 4th playing up a club.
Got the
Break up Andre.
Yeah, break up Andre, repeat that.
It might have been David Davis running down from Calabar.
Calabar, yeah. Possible.
Yeah.
David Davis.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
But
then
you see,
now,
my memory of track and field, and them talk about sports day, you know. I was always a track man from time, and about 400 third place lock up. And when I get ready to cross the line, is Briscoe that just prick me and just put out a chest. I'm put on the line and take the certificate and we get nothing. Fourth to come. And I never
Run
forget
left,
it,
yo.
you know.
now I catch him on the line, man.
The man gets up on the line.
And it's a sports day.
But again, and because Briscoe was not you know, the man does stand on. So Briscoe is fit and strong, man. You know that person.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I said the man go on to run 1,500 and 800. So that's how versatile and that only sprint. But 15 and 8.
You know, and I want to tell you, say, the, them days that when you go at champs, right?
Trumper,
And
put
you
the
run
mic
the
on mute a second. Go ahead, Carlton, yeah. Yeah, yeah, thank you, Trumper, yeah. Go ahead, Carlton, yeah.
them days that when you run at champs, right? First and second got you. It wasn't no
Yes.
best time or the next best time or whatever. It's just first and second of got you, right?
Yes.
And the heat when we did inner, me the time when me end up a come third and run out. And the time when me did run, I come third, did faster than the time where we couple of the other heats did. And I saw me end up
Yes.
go at the final. And the brother who win the actual final and the brother will win my heat. And they come from
So
Clarendon.
when you're
Yeah. Right? So if me in the final, I probably could have did it. And the thing is, me run the 800 was my specialty. But the one Bradshaw make me run 15 and 8. So it's like running the 15 also they take pressure out of me during the whole weekend I running. Right?
yeah.
So me never run fully recovered when me I run the 800. But yeah, man, around 800 meter, I'm around 1500, and we do the Gibson 4x2, and you know.
So when you go Clarendon
Briscoe,
College,
you remember an athlete at Clarendon College named Briscoe. He was on that minor league team. Briscoe. Yeah.
No, you're chipping and out.
yeah, Andre, yeah, break up a bit, yeah.
Is it any better now?
Much better, yeah.
All right. When I was in like maybe fourth farm, Clarendon College had a big 4x400 team. I think them. I don't remember. And there was a Briscoe. I don't remember what his first name was. A big thick youth. He was one of the 400 meter runner from Clarendon College. I don't know if you didn't know him, Carlton.
No. Me know of him because.
Oh.
But the thing is, I think the Briscoe me didn't know him was actually a little younger than me because when I go to Clarendon College, it's after me leave me here, so because I never used to play ball. He was a track man.
Maybe I'm brother.
Could be him brother come after him.
Yeah.
But me hear a joke with somebody that tell me say after they leave and cut out and him come and start play ball for Clarendon and the man them here said Briscoe play, and the man them come and see me and them say, I know Briscoe that I count and see Briscoe that
Different Briscoe. Yeah.
The man them start calling counterfeit.
Yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no relation. But I think him did actually do shot put and discuss and them kind of thing.
So, you know what? You know what? I run for Clarendon College.
No.
Okay.
Strictly bars.
Because they have a good track team at the time. They have a brother named Oliver Yewood around the 400 as they talk about the 4x4 for Clarendon.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
Them have a
4
good,
and
them have
800.
a more, oh yeah, them have a good distance program, really have a
Yeah,
good
yeah, yeah, yeah,
sprint
yeah. The long distance. Yeah.
because you remember Courtney Williams, Andre from Excelsior.
Yeah, man. The Tasmanian Devil.
Yeah, in the leave and come a client that with me and Luton,
Oh,
from
yeah,
Excelsior.
because man Luton was inseparable.
Yeah, and Luton didn't go down the same distance program, and the distance program was better for him at Clarendon, but they never have a good sprint program.
Oh, for Courtney.
Yeah, that move there was not a good move for Courtney. It never worked out good for him at all.
Mm.
It's like it used to win Carriston enough 200, 200 and
Yeah,
all
man,
kind
he
of
was a
stuff.
super talented sprinter.
And then after that, it's like things just kind of go south for him, because they never have the sprint program down there.
Mm.
Me ask you a question, Carlton. Who are the best? You play a whole heap of ball in a year, because be surprised to know, say, not surprised, because the ball abruptly just stopped for you in your early 20s because of responsibility and you change the trajectory of life. What the best ball I ever played with in your mind?
For bridging that question then at last, and I said that question there is a rough question to answer, because it's kind of tough, really, answer and say one player, but would I answer it to say, maybe the best defensive or the best midfield player or the best forward, because to me, it's really difficult to just call
One
one name
person.
and
Well,
just say, boy, boom are the best person. Because when you talk about defenders, right? I mean, my brethren Craig stand up there, Messi stand up there too. O'Neal Russell from Clarendon College stand up there. You understand me? I say, when you talk about midfielders, right? And there's even categories of midfielder. The toughest midfielder I ever play with or against was a brother who used to play with me at Clarendon, Winston Mambi. You know Winston Mambi?
yeah.
No.
Winston, who? When last game, Carlton?
Mambi.
More Mambi, yeah, man. Winston Mambi, yeah, man. Yeah, man. I remember him name, yeah. Mambi, yeah.
That brother there are the toughest player I ever play with or against. Right? And then you come and you play on a Clarendon side, you have a man like Wayne Wonder, right? As a forward, and you have Andrew Papazuki Sinclair, right? So,
Yes.
it's tough, you talk about Dende Hutchinson and them man there where you play with down the road. You understand? Because they play when I was about 13, I play on a parish under 19 side with Zone Clark. Zone Clark from Tivoli.
Zone, what wrong with you, man?
Yeah, man, yeah.
Zone Clark, you have Dennis Hutchinson, you have Hugh Bailey, Thomas McLean, Terence McDonald play defense. I mean, when you look on them man, the name, I mean, you look on all the forward like Andre Andrews. It's kind of hard to call one name.
Stylo, yeah.
Stylo, you understand? I mean, the man there keep the ball, goalkeeper, and have to move sometime.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, why bridging it hard for me come and just one man. They rate my defender them based on how me feel when them are play behind. How me as a baller play on the field and how me feel, how secure me feel. And, Leslie and Messi are the close to the top where defenders concerned. And, midfielders. Yeah, we play a Jamaican Nuts with a midfielder named Keith Toller, Barnaby, them call him.
Barnaby from Woolmars, yeah.
Yeah, he win triple championship with Woolmars back in the 70s.
Him play with Real Kill, Richard David.
And them man there, and him did play a Howard, and them man there part of the Howard University team where the only black NCAA team where ever win a championship.
Win the championship. Okay.
Barnard as a midfielder. Them man there was just like jive for play. You know what I mean? The man the ball IQ just step on a next level. You know? Anything you want to think about him and think about it, you know, and if you can't think about it with him, trust me, him a play it with him.
Yeah.
Dribblers, I mean, you can't leave out them.
Then, man. Yeah.
And Papa Zuki, Andrew Sinclair, who used to play for Clarendon.
Full of
The
skill.
Painter. Berger.
Yeah, talk about Berger.
Yeah.
You know. But man, when me play with, I never play with Berger, like, but never but no holy.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of answer the question as part of it.
Yeah, well, you play with. See it.
Yeah, may ask you another football question, Carlton. On the international scene, which footballer stand out to you?
Currently or previously?
Well, that's a good question. The previously, because the current one, that kind of easy. But they answered the two questions, currently and previously.
I mean, the reality of the situation, the pearl is king, and you can't call nobody even close to the king, right? But matter of fact, when you just the other day, I was on a group with some man and then put out a word in it. When I found all the ballers them who used to play ball out World Cup, right? And the man them have Pele on it, the man them have Ronaldo from Brazil, right? And the man them have Ronaldinho, right? You have Zidane on it, defenders and
Yeah,
things.
Maldini the pan it. I think I see that.
Yeah, you have Cafu and you have Roberto Carlos, right?
Yeah, I think I see
But me are gonna make a statement in terms of you have to put the pearl pan out in a different category. Him transcend football. You understand? But
I agree.
Yeah.
the most skillful footballer I ever see play this game bar none are Ronaldinho.
I agree 100%.
Yes, man. 100%.
No questions asked.
If we're talking pure skill, I hit that.
Yeah, no questions asked.
Me not see no other baller more skillful than Ronaldinho.
Ball tricks.
And the joy with which he plays, man.
Aye.
The man
And
just
the
have
good
fun.
foot, everything, man. The man have skill for kill, man. Jesus.
And it just effortless.
Yes. Yes.
Effortless. Maradona was good in his own right, but in terms of the most skillful footballer ever played the game, Ronaldinho.
Yep. Me and Buddy had strong there talk about that there. That's what I said to him. If I talk about skill, it's Ronaldinho. Not the greatest footballer, but the most skilled.
The most skillful footballer ever played the game.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
you know, the reality is right now the current argument is Cristiano or Messi. I mean, at the end of the day, I can't go against Messi, brother. We can't go against Messi right now as the current king about, because trust me, the man left foot is a different type of left foot.
Deadly. What I always say when we do those comparisons, I always look at it and say, once you pick either one of them, your team will be different. You have to know how to fit the team around them. The team will be different because they're complete different players. You know? You gotta make sure you have the right people around Messi.
Yeah, when them setting there, them say, when you talk about a good player, what makes a player good and what makes a player great? A great player automatically makes the other player them around them better. right? And talk about Michael Jordan as the greatest basketball player potentially.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan
Oh, to feel, yeah.
forced the other play them around him to lift them game. You can't play with them man and not lift your game. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
So we have look on greatness, and that you kind of want to look on, right? And when you play with Messi and them man, and you know Ronaldo to a whole CR7, you know, that man them have to step up.
Hold on, Carlton. Let me introduce Phil. Because Phil join the conversation. No matter what question. Phil, you there?
Yeah, man, my brother. Greetings, man and man.
You run late. But anyway,
yes, crazy.
In my walk late.
Man, I make plan and got a wife out, my brother.
Yeah. Yeah, man, we're there almost 2.5 hours. All of Carlton said we couldn't have more than 30 minutes, but we don't know it already.
Exactly.
I never am there for circle the pot.
Listen.
Yeah, go ahead.
It might go be a testimony to the rest of man them where reluctant or hesitant. Because you got things saying I have nothing, but remember it's a stroll of memory lane. One thing lead to another.
So you have any question for him to come to your mind?
Well, right after the bat, you know, that's why I didn't want to catch it from the beginning, because I like to know the whole history behind the foundation of the Corner League. You know, its origin and how that stack up against the latter days of it. Because it's like when Mullah said what the 85, you remember the last match player, the finals. And them time the a whole heap of more team get added to the thing. So I like know the history that are the difference really between the latter days and the early days.
Well,
like the genesis of the Corner League as opposed to, you know, the demise side, like the last days right. Especially where the competitiveness is concerned, because to all me see it, and I'm sure Lance probably make mention of this. Me just can't see in the car to where me you know in the beginning as some senior baller are playing at the thing. And enough of them come out of Pembroke Hall, and it's just inexplainable that we never win Major League at that time.
Well,
when so much
Carlton answer Phil. I think Carlton can't talk about after 19. Carlton migrated 1980. But go ahead, Carlton. Comment on what you can comment on.
1980, as I said, 1980 are the latter days, right? Because as you see what Mullah said, I feel like at them time the Corner League really come to an end.
Yeah, man, before,
84, 85.
But go ahead, Carlton. Comment where you can comment on that.
Well, I mean, to me, the pinnacle of the Corner League was about in the 76, 77 in them range.
I see him feel to Carlton. It's almost like after that it's like a blip to me. Yes, I see him feel to
it kind of blip down because me used to play with and against some senior man who used to come up and come play. But I thought they mentioned some of them already. Gary Chuck, Balf, Craft Garden, man and them man they come from Golden Aces and them play. You understand me? I say you go down the line, you have Gerald Dugan, you know, the amount of ball that we come through and some men are talking about like a pian football. Right? Pembroke Hall. Every time I pass the Pembroke Hall field and look on the field and see how it's small, it's not even the size of a half of real size football field. Right? And the quality and the level of football we used to play in a little shoot, almost triangle.
Almost a 6-a-side field.
Right. The quality and the level of football we used to play, so was just fun and next level. right? Remember, you talk and we are talking about ballers and ballers when we used to even idolize back in them time. I think Asphalt. Remember a baller used to play a Pembroke Hall named Patrick Tweet.
Yeah, man. Legend that, yeah.
Play for
Yeah, man.
Cavaliers.
Yeah.
A man like them they used to idolize in what football at Pembroke Hall. And when you talk about that them quality man there, I play carnally in a Pembroke Hall with, like I said, Gary Chuck, Balls, them kind of man there. Me don't know who could have matched them quality and talent after them man they not play and stop and leave. Me don't know what level, because as me say, me not really remember playing a whole heap of corners league after like 78, so because as me touch on some little things that go on up a stadium where me and my brethren walk out of the stadium and we decide so we're not really run nothing like a Pembroke Hall no more because of the direction where the community that I go get pushed into, right? So me can't really talk too much about me feel the pinnacle was in a them time there, right? It start out with some of the man them like rest of the world and some of them man they were used to play, I think Backham and some of them man they used to play back them time there too. But I think it grew and get to a point where like in a time frame that was really the pinnacle of the corner league of Pembroke Hall to me.
When you stop playing Carlton, it was still being played round at the terminal. Did you ever play over the school? Did you transfer?
No, me never played a corner league at school.
Okay.
Right. And I'm kind of agree with the Carlton. In my mind, once they did move over the school, I don't even remember even interested to go watch a match over the school. It was like a different vibe altogether. There's a different vibe altogether. We have dealt with that pan a couple because when the Godfather they come on, I'm going out extensively. And Bobby Fire going out, Lancey going out a little bit. So yeah. Anybody want to hear the details about that? But yeah, we have talked about that before, Carlton. It's like, and just I listen to you and it's like me I say, if Pembroke Hall football ever take that direction there, the amount of man will probably come back and play for Pembroke Hall, even when they are foreign. It would make a big difference. It would have make a difference. But yeah, circumstances make things different. Eh?
That particular trajectory back in the time is what killed the football in a Pembroke Hall.
Yeah, man. Yeah, the politics. But we want to have a better word. Yeah. Yeah, man. And I don't know, in all fairness to Carlton, Pembroke Hall football alone it mash up in it. A whole heap of coming to football feel it because of the politics. Because man couldn't go certain place and it was a volatile time. It was a different time. It was a different time. And when you think back and look upon it, when we lived through, it's different. In the 1980s. And we have all the way to school at the time. It's not like we are big man or nothing, we are school boy. The whole way I go to school. But
Hey, Carlton.
yeah, go ahead.
Carlton, when you go down Mandeville, go play with Kirk Vine then. You didn't live down there? Or you go back and forth?
No, my sister did live down there, Tell us my sister was there.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, she was down an electrical engineer down at the plant. So she have a house and everything down there. So
Yeah.
matter of fact, me used to love to chill with her because if you don't know my sister Juanita, she about 4'11" and maybe 100 pounds when she went. If that much. She down there, she have a big old house in a Mandeville, and when I go down there and she cook all her whole chicken pan a Sunday with rice and peas and vegetable, and she take all a little wing for herself, and me and the four most of the recite.
Yes.
Yeah, and the best climate in Jamaica and Mandeville, man. Coolest place in Jamaica, that. So yeah. So I
used to love go down there.
But let me ask you, at them time when you go in a Kirk Vine and play, you used to pay you?
Not directly pay, but yeah, me used to get some money, yes.
You get a stipend, like, yeah, I got you. I got you.
Yeah, I mean, shoot. Them time them I go Clarendon still and I go play with them and go back to school. Me and them time them get all a $40 or a $60. You know, the rate $20 bill them.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
enough money that them time, that man. No.
Yo, you get 2 or 3 of that and you come back to school, you live like a king, brother.
Enough
You
money
live
that.
like a king. You ball up on campus, plus you have money. Yo, I tell you.
Yeah.
You used to have the fruits man out of the gate and thing, and yo, at lunchtime I come down, the man have a pint tea for ice and them thing. Definitely, I know him a charge me about 4 times the price for the pint.
Mm.
Oh man, with money. Come. Ball and come with money.
Yeah, man, them time, I mean, me and my girlfriend used to move them time, I would go down, go have lunch and fruits and stuff. The man have it set up already for me, man. Daddy, remember we used to call him Daddy. I was long after my girlfriend look at me and say, you know, them pine they usually give Daddy all $1 and $2 for it. You know, about 50 cents we used to pay for them too in the market. You know, but
My charge,
if I make a money, I do him thing, but them time they, you know really I check
No,
think about it.
no. Me ask you a question, Carlton. When you remember Pembroke Hall, what memory comes to you first when you think about Pembroke Hall?
Remember come to me first and I think, oh, God, I mean, apart from the ball is just, you know, I thought when you grew up in your teenage years and you just feel them time you just feel like you have the whole of your life ahead of you and you know the memory of Pembroke Hall in me up at the Thompson them house on the veranda in the summer. I run boat and I play and I run marble on the concrete driveway where the parents them gone to work. Right? That's the first memory come to me when I think about Pembroke Hall, being up at 4 Pitterton Avenue up at Prince House.
Yeah,
I like how some I grew up.
yeah. Yeah, man.
You know.
Yeah.
But Pembroke Hall is a place where, you know, it gives a good community vibe. There's a good community vibe at Pembroke Hall. I mean, you know, remember when we used to even play our scrimmage on the road, you have people that come out of them gate and I'll watch the scrimmage game then play. You know what I mean? It's not like so it was you and the boy them alone on the road just play scrimmage.
For
We
real.
used to have people come at them gate and watch the scrimmage game then. So, you know, them feel and them community vibe there, you kind of feel when I think about Pembroke.
Mm-hmm.
So how you view it now?
I mean, you have to remember, me cut out pretty early, you know.
Yeah.
I cut out pretty early. I mean, from 1980, me leave out. I mean, I was like 18, I got 19. You know, so
Yeah.
I really spend a whole heap of my adult life at Pembroke Hall. But when I go back at Pembroke Hall, I mean, you can't see so you know, the place is not the same like it was. I mean, a different set of people moving and, you know, I don't really think I don't move around the place when I go back home enough really can really
Assess
gauge
where it
the
is
vibe.
now.
Yeah, because, you know, we drop in, we spend a little time and, you know, we did it for 10 days or so and you're up on the beach or you're the North Coast or the grill and, you know what I mean, you're popping, you know, really did it forget a vibe as to where it really is. But you can just tell, say, you know,
different.
a different community, not the same community vibe. You don't see as much people out and about, and you know.
It not look as unified.
Yeah, it's just a different vibe at this point, you know.
Yeah, the evolution of time.
Strangers walking around, whereas in our day everybody knew each other. You know,
Yeah.
things are not.
Like him says, a community feel was greater then.
I know that Andrew more important we know each other, we know the outside of them, like certain unwanted outsider would have come through, I know them we spot them from afar.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
When you say Curry and Cocomalt and them, man,
I'm bending low.
bend the
You
low.
gotta name them where Andrea call.
Yeah, but
You know
some
it's
of
there.
them, even some of them level are unwanted, whatever. For the time the man them come through and them not
Unwanted
really
tourists.
yeah, but them not really a thing there. Especially as a baller, them never used to really trouble baller.
No.
You know what I mean?
Well, certain level of respect that exist them time there, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, like nowhere, anything or anything.
Yeah, the ball of the models get a certain amount of respect. Now, which community you going now?
Yeah.
A man know he has a ball and play on stadium field, like you could have got anywhere in Jamaica and you get a pass to that. That is true.
Yeah, but yeah, true. I mean, me used to walk down halfway tree and people are yell me up and thing and railway and me not know them from Adams and you know we play a certain place already and you know man just a big up and I respect you as a baller. Baller usually can go places where a normal man can't really just go and
No. And the baller never to politicize at all. If you're a baller, it's like him not name you one P or the other P.
Right.
The man them spot you all in the dark. You see if you have a pronounced bow leg like a Briscoe or a Tony guy. Sometimes I walk a Tony guy hear a man say, Medieval Center.
No, sir.
In the night.
Come on, a certain level of respect.
Yeah. Anyway, you know, Carlton, believe it or not, you know, at almost 45 minutes, I go around the table and just ask everybody for them closing remark and you for your closing remark and then we close out the program. So I'm going to start with Thumper, you first. Give a closing remark and any question you want to ask Carlton before we close it out.
No more questions for Carlton, but appreciate the man coming on tonight, Carlton. Long time we are wait for this, and you know, I learned some new stuff tonight from the man. I didn't realize. One, you go down. A man that we go play. Actually, playing with my cousin and a couple of the ball of them. I'm gonna play with a Florida, and also the reason you left
Excelsior.
That was very interesting.
Yeah.
So thanks again, and we appreciate the man coming on here, sir.
Yeah.
Respect.
And you, Andre, any question for Carlton or any not any closing remark and any question you ask Carlton I'm never ask.
Right. To be honest with you, you know, Carlton, I'm a brother. Right? Because it's the first man when I left St. Aloysius and come to school at Pembroke Hall, when we walk in the classroom, I don't know anybody. And within a week, I get placed with him and we got 2 years together, inseparable. So we can tell stories from now till next week. Like, you know, even we mentioned a man from Petterton, Errol Walker, we call Mafia. And I hope people wouldn't know why we call him Mafia, but we used to take the bus after football training. We used to take 27, go half a tree, or we bum a ride, or, you know. But when we go up on the 27, we have a habit of avoiding the conductress in terms of our fear collecting. We're not really paying a fear, you know. So sometimes when the bus stop, we just itching at the front, and while people are go on and come off, and when they get ready for move, we just step in. And the first question Errol would ask was like, "You pay?" I would say no, and him say, "Mafia." And, you know, so that's how him actually get the name Mafia. Yeah. Some evening you left out at Campbell's cross the street and you see a bus at the stop and you start move after it, and the conductor see her come and she just ring off the bus. And
You know, I probably have come our way.
you cannot stop at the bus stop if the bus left, you know. So you have to make it to the next stop, you know. So sometimes you hope that the traffic hold up the bus and, you know, you have to just keep running up Mountain View Avenue and try to catch that the next stop. But we have a whole heap of memories as youth, you know, from football training and making our way home to Pembroke Hall. We go Stanton Terrace, we reach out Eastwood Park Road, where we catch a 93 to 96, we go down the boulevard, or, you know, whatever the case may be. So just having Carlton on for a few hours just bring back, for me, some of them memories there. You know, it's just, so me don't really have a question. It's just give thanks, brethren, because a long time we're waiting for you to come on. See?
The circumstances and thing kind of, you know,
Yep.
and after my brethren come on, me did take some vacation and things, so, you know.
Yeah.
Glad to be on, man. Glad to be on.
Not before time, my brother.
Yeah, respect.
Phil, we know you're coming late because of work commitment, but we understand. Any closing remark, any closing question for Carlton?
Well, to be honest, on behalf of the team, I like to thank the man for coming through, because it's like what Andrew said a while ago, and Tompa said, a long time we look forward to this. I'm sorry I wasn't able to be a part of it from the get-go, but good thing is that it's recorded, so me catch it when it's here. But I really give you thanks for coming through, brother man, because it's the foundation of the thing. And I only wish me there to catch it from the beginning. But, you know, we look forward to another time.
Yes.
Yeah, man, thank you. And Carlton, any closing remark or anything we want to talk about? Anything I think me leave out? You can, at the floor of yours.
No, we cover a vast variety of topics and stuff, you know. I mean, it was good going down the memory lane and talking about certain things and, you know, catching up with the man them, and, you know, it like you say, coming on here, set yourself, dang, we are gonna talk about. And see there, almost 3 hours.
Almost 3 hours, right? Exactly.
So,
and that's how the cookie always crumble.
Yeah, anybody else who will come
Next
through,
time you
know,
talk to Platty, tell them the same to your Carlton, because we check
yeah,
it. And them say, boy, me make you know yours. So Platty, this one's for you.
trust me, any man who hesitate, just come through, man. It's a pleasure talking to the man, them Rasta, and I mean, you know, it take me back through sometimes too. Also myself.
Yeah, man.
That's what it's all about, my brother.
Yeah,
man. Let me give my closing remark, Carlton. I can say this. When music say, man,
Well,
like...
wait there. I know I use up mine already, but I just want to say something. Can me just write this and just think about it while we not talk. But I can't say another man, I say youngster, man our age, will come close, in my view, from Pembroke Hall to Carlton's talent and stuff that in a football. Because I think I can't say another one. So if Carlton, as I said when we started, the man is a legend to me, and we always look up to you.
Yeah. Upon along the lines of me, I think the Tompa. Thank you for that, because and Carlton, you not know this, because as a Pembroke Hall man, I look up on your play for Excelsior first, and then Clarendon College afterwards. It's like, and I met up me used to go, right? And it was like a pleasure for me. When I say a Pembroke Hall man, I dominate the scene. Either you or Messi, but tonight are you. It was like, it was an inspiration for me. It's a Pembroke Hall man on the map of Jamaica, put Pembroke Hall on the map in terms of them talent alone. And for no say, me and only go primary school together. And a Pembroke Hall man through and through. It was a pleasure for you come here tonight, come tell you a story. And as Andre said earlier and Tompa said, the circumstances around and how you move from Excelsior to to Clarendon. Enough man never know that, but them are hear it now when this come out. So the conversation is good. I'm glad you joined the conversation and I appreciate that. I love that, you know. Easy going conversation.
Yeah, I just want to add a direct shout out and respect to Dion Messi Wilmot family and, you know, a major loss to everybody and the community. Just want to just pay my respects and just say, you know, I just want to know what the Father have in store for nobody, but stay strong as best as I can. But it's a big loss that for the community, you know.
Without a doubt. I want to put Pembroke Hall on the map big time like yourself. Without a doubt, Carlton. Without a doubt. Anyway, gentlemen, let me close out the program here. So, Andre Taylor Danville, or John Danville, as most Pembroke Hall people know him. Philip, N.A., or N. Fowler, or Phil. Andre, hear me. Rudolph, Thumper, Tony Kamika, and Carlton. And Carlton, you never have no nickname at all. That's a funny thing.
Yeah, Dominican.
My brethren Leslie Preggs.
Yeah.
My older man used to call me Scarcha.
Carter, okay. But you know,
and then the man them are Howard we call you Daddy B, right?
Daddy B it start from, but now it officially named Papa B, because when I did Howard, I did have my daughter.
Your daughter.
okay.
Daddy B then.
Yeah.
And then it moved to Papa B. Yes.
Papa B.
Yeah, but it never stick where everybody know it because it's just simple Carlton or Briscoe, me know ya. There's no nickname ever associated there at all. But yeah. Anyway, that's a gentleman.
Hey, Carlton,
Yeah,
may I hear one for the tennis player them, and the tennis player them are grunt when them are play. You charge them any money, cause so you used to play something. You need to put a patent on that.
But to be honest with you, you know, that was really a breathing technique, you know.
Me know. Yeah.
You know, I will if a man that understand that, and it's something where a man, I remember who did actually, I think a rally, they tell me, say, listen, when you run, you have to breathe, you have to force your body to breathe. Yeah. And that is how you can maintain your oxygen level. And you never go into all of that detail, but that is how you maintain your oxygen level if you can go do it again where next man can't do it. You know what I mean?
Yes. Sorry about that, Lance.
No, man, no. Enough. Listen, even at the end, enough Jim Carlton are dropping out. When a man listen to the conversation, enough strategy will go through where enough things man have to learn, man, when they hear them conversation. Man and woman, because woman have play football plenty now. So, anyway, gentlemen, Andre, Phil, Thumper, and Carlton Briscoe, it was a pleasure. This is Lance, or Jelly, or Prince. Any one of them name they will do. It was great hanging out back and have them conversation there. And God bless the whole way. And God bless that great community of Pembroke Hall who can have the conversation them. After 40 years, like with up on the corner, Petterton, or Pontrepont, or Aqualite, or Calbeck Avenue, I sit down and talk. And as Bobby Fire say, and the ball, Pembroke Hall. Have a good night, gentlemen.
Blessed love, Master.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Yeah, man. What time? Cole Carlton. Thank you. All right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Blessings, everyone.
Yes.
Thanks for listening to Pembroke Hall Memories podcast. And remember to give us all the support you can on whatever social media platform you are listening. A special thanks to my production manager, Kyle Prince, who takes care of everything involved in getting the podcast out every week. And without him, I would not be able to do what I love doing every week, having memorable conversation about Pembroke Hall. Thanks. So, remember to like, share, and subscribe these Pembroke Hall Members podcasts so neither you nor your friends will miss another memorable conversation. Thank you. The views expressed by guests on this podcast are their own, and their appearances on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. While we will not add to statements made by a guest, we reserve the right to exclude statements or remarks that might be considered inflammatory.
Thank you.